Huh. Mm. Walking? There? No, it's not walking. Damn it. There. This. Yes? I think it's walking. Is it walking? Hi. Oh, there are so many people here today. Oh, this is gonna be awkward because this is not a science stream. Hi there. Can you hear me well, or is it awful? How bad is the live stream quality right now? Do you want to do some Tetris? No, we'll do something different. Back to science. No, I'm so tired today. I really am feeling awful. I really am feeling awful. And I want to slow people. Hi there. Oh, damn it, now I feel bad because a lot of people joined in for the not so science live stream. We can hear. Okay, that's great. As festive, play some real life. As I really did enjoy it that much. Not too many characters out there. Some new people. The only person here I remember from before is Happy. I know Tilly also is from before. Make it was 1+1. Oh mate, that's like at least a 2/3. Ramen cat. Well, depending on how far back you mean, right? Make it was a derivative of Arctan. That's I can no, I know it from memory. It's no, I don't. No, I do not know it from memory. It's something with X. Why are you tired, make it? I honestly have no clue. Hold on. Oh, I think we got a solution to our being tired problems. Our salvation is near. Hold on. Tefta, hi. I saw you open up finals. Hi, the Tefta. Hi, welcome. Make it stop caring about other people. This is a stream, not a video. Yeah, but that's the point, right? Shouldn't I care more about other people on stream than in the video? I don't want to stream things which aren't interesting. I am really good at I was really good at the finals. I haven't been playing it well, but it's just that it's a big content shift, right? I'm trying to get the finals load. Yeah, we haven't played the finals since they did a whole regaming stuff where they remade everything. I'm only downloading it now. I'm hoping it's gonna work. My friend said that if someone were to rob you and force you to say definition of Arctan, it's probably him. Wait, what is Arctan actually when it comes to you know the trigonometric arctangent, which means it's an inverse trigonometric function of tangents, which means I don't remember the formulas exactly. Arctangent is equal to x is equal to tangent of y, which means you need to switch it. And tangent. Oh, that is actually such a long way. No wonder the stream drops out. Yeah. That's why I asked about quality, because on the very beginning, and now the quality should be better. There we go. Now it should be better. So when it goes to arctangent is about us. No, arccotangent would be the furthest from the simple definition. Well, simple relatively. You should do more satisfactory streams. That's also a good pick. That is also a good pick. You know what? Let's put it up to the vote. Unless I actually don't. Maybe no. You know what? Let's put it up to the vote. No science. Oh, okay. I'm tired. I really am. I'm really tired. I don't know why. If I knew why, it would be easy because I could fix it. But I don't know why. It's upsetting me a lot. I've tried a lot of things, it didn't work. I'm still tired. I'm not productive. So I if I'm not being productive, might as well be gaming. Alright? So what shall we do? I'm only gonna give you two options. Ultra Kill. That's not one of the options. I don't have Ultra Kill actually. I would love to play Ultra Kill. I mean, it seems I really like doing. Hi, Detefta. But 80% satisfactory. 80%? That's an old percent.
I didn't even vote.
Yeah, I think that might be just. I won't make it to relax a bit. Oh, that's nice of you. Thank you. I also do want to relax a bit. I actually had such a cool stream idea today. Such a cool one. It was such a great stream idea.
Yeah.
But basically, I don't know if you can hear me different. Can you hear me different? Do I sound different?
You do.
Well,
from when you're
like
yeah.
Is there like a slight echo in the background?
There is, but it's not that bad.
You know why there's a slight echo?
Because you're in a bathroom?
No, yesterday I got such a huge manic high at night that I cleaned my office so well that I changed the acoustics.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And that's not even joking. This is the same room. This echo is just here from me cleaning stuff up. Oh, hi the flame and by the flame, good night. Yeah, that's
the sound of motivation.
I mean, it was the sound of a manic high, and I feel like today, after each huge manic high, I get a manic low, and I think that's what I'm experiencing today. But basically, I had such a cool idea. I was gonna set up the camera, the webcam on like a tripod, and I was gonna do some in real life electronics on stream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to invite you because then we could actually prototype together and we could.
Yeah, because we talked. Have you said that in one of your streams yet? That we talked about doing like an open muscle thingy?
Oh yeah. I mean, I do mention these things all the time. Either me getting upset at the fact that there's no link to donate. I'm still upset. But I
no, but
absolutely.
I've been doing a lot of electronic stuff. So, and what you're doing is actually challenging me to learn. So I really like that. The questions you ask, I usually don't have the full answer and have to do the research. So it's kind of fun.
Yeah. So it would be. I feel like it would be really fun if we could prototype something together. I don't think open muscle prototyping would be best for the. I definitely want to do this stream. I definitely do.
Well, hey,
do a
so
prototyping stream.
You know my coffee clicker.
Yeah.
My coffee clicker, the group says that we want to actually make it a taser too. So it doesn't just vibrate a motor, but it actually tases your hand. And I just got the new boards in and I do need help prototyping that. So that's another one we can work on.
What actually tasing? That's just a lot of amperes, right? Or my...
No, a lot of voltage, low amperage.
Exactly the opposite of... Okay, so I'm basically as far away from the answer as I could possibly be.
Well, but what's interesting is voltage. I still love this example. Voltage is how the distance something can arc in the air. The higher the voltage, the longer it can arc. Yeah, and current is like the power. Or you explain it better in your videos, but for voltage, that's what I remember. I mean,
in the electric to electronic, I had the analogy, the water analogy. So current is the amount of water, and voltage is the pressure. So
see, I like that. That's really good.
So in this case, if you had like a sponge, then just pushing a lot of water through it wouldn't do anything. You need the high pressure for the water to actually flow through the sponge. And the sponge in this case is the air because it has higher resistance. Or actually, I think it has to ionize in order to... That's the matter, not a science stream. The point is...
Yeah, that would be fun. We should do that.
No, that sounds like a fun thing to do. The thing is, the main issue for me when it comes to... when it comes to doing the source stream is that I don't have enough parts. I have transistors. I ordered $20.
You need to get a PO box.
Yes,
then I could just send you a whole bunch of stuff. Because I also have the custom PCBs ordered. I could send you.
Yeah, if I had a PO box, I could just do a stream or a series of a stream. I feel like it would be a stream where I would just build both the band and the labeling. This is the labeling. I'm not making it up, right? It's what it's called. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So I could just build both of them on stream. But as I mentioned, I first want to move. I'm gonna move and I have a deadline this time. So
yeah.
Unless I spend all my money, which surprisingly is a possibility. Unless I spend all my money, I'm gonna move in 2 months. That's like the upper limit.
That's awesome.
So yeah, that's when I'm gonna get the PO box. And so what's really funny, there is a solid chance that I'm not even gonna live in Poland. Then I'm gonna move just somewhere. So
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that's gonna be cool. That's subtle
You'll,
review.
you'll become a nomad,
Yeah.
bro.
I just don't. I'm not really patriotic. I don't have a spine, so you know. Wait. Oh, I have 3,000 points. There's like gateway I can buy. What's that? Do?
Oh,
Oh yeah, and there are
Oh,
new
yeah.
things. Wait, are you in game right now?
I am. Yeah.
Okay, no, hold on. Let me just test out the gateway quick, because I'm curious. You don't have a spine? You should get that checked. Nah, medical bills are too expensive. You have like free healthcare is cool and all, but for all the specific things, you know, you still need to pay. So I'm just living without a spine. It's easy that way. Another thing which I realized recently, and holy, can I talk about what you told me on Discord? By the way, can I talk about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Of
Or at
course.
least, so basically, you got they are like I'm trying to find a way to not make it sound completely dumb. As in, I'm trying to say it in a way which won't make me sound completely dumb. But like, you got electronic muscles, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what?
And so this company reached out. I'll actually. Is it okay if I paste their link to their website in the chat?
Oh yeah, go right ahead.
So they're pretty cool. They're designing these nitinol muscles. So they run off of memory metal, and they're pretty neat. They're doing an open source section, and they reached out to me because they saw my video, and they were wondering if I could send them a kit, and they could send me a kit, and they might even present Open Muscle at the Open Sauce June 15th. But they're a whole bunch of cool guys, and they're trying to bring the technology into the industry because it's really hard to get nitinol. So yeah, it was really cool conversation we had today.
And for everyone on who's not on Tefta's level of intelligence, only on my level of intelligence, as a summary, they're making electronic muscles, which I think is sick. I know I'm a 5-year-old who's fixating on the very childish thing, but come on, they're making electronic muscles, which I think is amazing. And what I realize is that, like, you know how when it comes to, damn it, whenever I talk about science, I just end up talking about transhumanism. But you know how, like, in all the movies, people were like had these cybernetic enhancements. You were like, oh, that's cool. In the year, I know, 2087. Is that when Cyberpunk was? 2087.
2077.
2077. Yeah, like year 2077 and stuff. Mate, in 2025, we could have Neuralink and electronic muscles.
Yeah.
But what else do you need? Like at this point,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna replace all of my muscles with electronic ones, plug in Neuralink to control everything, replace my lungs with artificial because to oxidize everything easier, replace my stomach with something that would take in like more efficient capsules, and then I could synthesize them externally, which would mean that all of the machinery that would actually be responsible for organizing different molecules, that would be all outside, so I would be much lighter. Can you, like, damn, and all of that is just coming this decade. No, next one at the very last.
It's super awesome. It just makes me want to work all the time.
Yeah, same here. I actually feel awfully exact. Wasted time. I was gonna test life into Cyberpunk, but come on! You mean tell me you wouldn't? Okay, hold on. How do I invite? That's how I invite. There we go. So the gateway is basically just a teleport. Got it. This stream is sponsored by Delta Robotics. I wish. Should get that checked. I won't come to US at least yet because in the US really doesn't like. Well, it's not really US. It's not that much of a US thing. It's just that governments really don't like people coming from other areas of the world. That's just a thing that happens. And so when I mean other country, it would still be okay. Let's first do like a warm up, quick cash.
That's smart.
So when I mean like other country, I mean in Europe, and moving to another country in Europe is like moving to a different states in the US. It's practically the same thing.
Yeah.
How many hours do you have in this? I don't know. I really don't know. Oh, wait, I have it on Steam. I can just check.
Because I played both on Xbox and on Steam, so I can't tell.
Yeah, I have 137 hours. I was really good at this game. Back in my glory
You're
days.
way better than I am. So now I told Make It that, you know, in Discord, that this is payback for when we were playing Rocket League.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Basically, we used to have that because now I don't know how good I am right now. But we used to have that like the gap between us where when we were playing Rocket League, I was doing nothing. Tefta was carrying me. When we were playing here, it was a way closer in because you were playing in like high silver level. I was playing low platinums. That was pretty close. Actually, I finished with gold 1. I actually didn't.
To me, the gap was a lot bigger.
No,
from where I was sitting, it was a lot bigger.
No, because the difference is you could get silver by you could just get silver yourself in the finals. In Rocket League, I don't know what I'm doing. Today I played one match of Rocket League. I got the first goal in, and I didn't help anyone because I got it like, I wouldn't say on accidents, but I feel like all of the opponents just disconnected at once. Oh, I'm playing with throwing knives. Oh, I forgot how much of an idiot I am in this game.
Okay, hopefully, I got a new controller, so hopefully this will work.
Okay, zipline, gas mine, defibrillator. Okay, as what I see, not okay. Everyone has old loadouts. That's good. That's good.
Now, the powerhouses, the tough shells, and finally.
Oh, is there a different narrator? That's gonna confuse me. So how do I play? Wait, I haven't played in such a long time. I haven't played in FPS in such a long time. Oh, this is gonna be great.
In quick cash, it's all about the rush for riches. The
Yep,
team that
already
gathers
missed.
enough cash first will seal the win.
You're right, Scotty. Remember, folks, historically, it's been all about that fast start.
So the nice thing for everyone watching right now, the reason why I love finals so much is because it's quick. And I do like me some quick games. Someone's already firing at me, but they're missing, so...
Okay. Behind.
Time to disappear.
Ah, there's another one behind me.
Oh, Shiza. Oh no, I gotta go.
Oh, we have an infinite round of thingamajigs. That's nice, because it's quick play.
Oh, nice, nice.
Defibrillator has a skin. That's a really nice skin.
Oh, on the defibrillator?
Yeah, the wires. I really like that. I'm just gonna respawn. Oh, you could just... Oh, they nerfed the defibrillator! I can't believe they've actually done that. Oh my goodness, yes! Finally! It only took a season. Make it, why did you make this channel? Is it to educate others, or to build a community, or another reason? This is a good question. I know all of them, actually. I like to educate others on the important things. Like, the main thing I want to educate people on is... I want people to not worry about the future so much, because it's really not... Like, if we solve climate change, if we disable all the nukes, and if we do AI carefully, then I don't think there's anything we should worry about, honestly. I think that's the order. That's the order of importance.
So it's optimism.
You don't have a hook, okay.
Oh.
Everything is so much different now. We're going...
Oh, Shiza.
Hopefully climate change
It's
gets
so much slower.
Yeah, it is.
It's just so weird. Oh no. I forgot how much I'm bad at this game.
Oh,
yep.
Fudge! Get back here, boy! Okay, well... There's a sniper. Yeah. Hopefully climate change gets worse. That's such a quote. Thing to live by. Also, climate change, that's what's really crazy to me, because I like talking about misaligned AGI because for a really long time I felt like it was very underrated, as in, you know, people weren't worrying about it as much as they should have been. But when it comes to probability of things happening, climate change really is the biggest killer, and at this point we just got used to it, which is not a good thing at all. What do you think, Tefta? Nukes, misaligned AGI, climate change, or other? What's your favorite apocalypse scenario?
The most
Well, the most probable danger, the most probable and dangerous, you know.
I think it's nuclear war.
Yeah, that's the one I'm most scared of because like it is the
Placing an
it is
explosion.
the most like a human thing for us to do. Wait, are they
What
jumping?
I'm actually less afraid of nuclear war now that we have large language models, because essentially they're compressed knowledge of the internet. So the fact that we have offline language models that can run on almost any laptop that can kind of recreate most of human knowledge is pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean the biggest issue with nuclear weapons is that they evolved. I would say that's the biggest issue. And what I mean by that is that right now, if you like, you know,
This match needs even
add just detonate just a couple of nukes, you can make the whole planet inhabitable, which is incredibly risky.
Yeah, like neutron bombs,
Yeah, it's basically like, you know, you
salted nuclear warheads.
I'm going to revive. Coming in.
I keep forgetting that I don't need to revive because it's not ranked. Oh well. Yeah, people.
Throwing smoke grenade.
Look at me. Ah, there. Yeah, precisely. I don't need to revive. I like the fact that sniper rifles reflect light, so you can see where the sniper is. You know, the one's firing at you. The one right there.
Yeah.
Up there.
Cash out in progress thanks to the tough shells.
But yeah, that's like 41 in the summer. Yeah, it is hot, but the biggest issue of climate change is not really just the warming; it's the change in general. We evolved to. What was this? Like a new. Oh, there's a glitch barrel. That's phenomenal. We evolved to a certain climate, and if that climate is changing, that's dangerous. Of course, we can adapt, as I mentioned, muscles and whatnot, but betting on the fact that we'll adapt faster than we change the environment, I don't want to bet that. That seems like betting my life for very little reason. Views haven't really gone particularly well for the channel recently, have they? I feel like watching. Oh, someone's commented. Oops, hold on, I'll read that fully in a second. Just need to really swiftly. I feel like watching some of the later content, but you should be getting way more views and subs are going just. No. Views are getting really well. It's just that the addition quantum mechanics video was really abnormal. That's the issue. So if you compare it to the addition to quantum mechanics video, then it seems really high, really low. I mean, but that video is abnormal. If you don't mind the addition quantum mechanics video, then you'll see actually how. Oh, I'm awesome. Hold on.
Oh my goodness. Get him.
I am so great! I am the... Okay, I know...
Nice.
I think I still have it in me. Oh, this is fun. Oh, I like not sucking at games. And yeah, we got it.
Nice.
That's a cash out by the shock and
It's very high quality animation and engaging content that should rival even the likes of Kurgasak videos and software by Mike, Robert and Nile Red. Wow. People have been comparing my channel to Veritasium a lot, and I really like that. Because it is,
That's awesome,
it is,
man.
that's kind of the end goal. The only difference is I want to do more practical things, and I want to be less about interviews and more about practical things. But that's kind of where I'm going. Oh, I like this. I really should, like, at least once a week should play finals. This is my mental day off, you know.
Yes.
That's the thing I'm good at.
Oh!
So I could,
Powerhouse has swooped up a cash box.
Planting explosive.
oh, I am so amazing. Oh, I am so amazing, handsome, and great.
Oh man, that was crazy. Oh, well, that's a thing. I like how the AK has.
Compass. Okay. I heard you loud and clear. No need to yell.
Now I have to be practicing more. If we do this.
No. That's the point. Have fun, right? Like if we're gonna do it once a week, then
Yeah.
it has to be to have fun, you know. So we will play ranked, but just because I think ranked are just, you know, when people take it a bit more seriously, it's fun. So we don't actually care about the rank. We just do it for fun. The rank is just because it's, the normal one is too easy. Can I do it? Oh, that healing beam was phenomenal. Yeah. Reviving people is gonna be a lot harder now. Oh, everyone can use these glitch things. Oh, that's interesting. Well, it makes sense.
I keep on forgetting I have the healing beam. Jeez. I'm
I'm
finally getting into it.
Yeah, I feel like we're also back in the zone. Don't be so mean and uncool, Sadie. No, Happy oscillates. Nowadays, Happy used to be extremely negative. Nowadays, every message from Happy is either the most negative thing you've seen all day or extremely wholesome. Just no in nothing in between.
Hey, that's awesome. It's an improvement.
Yeah, this is a huge improvement. I'm really proud of Happy. That's why we're Happy earlier said, for example, about, you know, wanting me to rest. That was really nice.
Yeah.
Okay, time to...
Well, it is important. Like, it's easy to get sidetracked.
Yeah, it's easy to be mad.
Yeah.
Oh, you blow up. Okay, well, that's a hiccup. Suck it! I sucked. Damn it. Damn it.
That'll be a shock to their system.
Recoil training.
For me, it's, I mean, the movement, I still got the movement kind of, so I like that. I haven't fallen a single time. I've done some, well, no, I think I have, but I've done some pretty risky things. That's...
Oh. Okay, then.
That's where you are, okay. Oh, the music is also different. Oh, they changed everything. No. Once again, I'm an old man in the changing world. Do we have Helldivers? Yes, I do. I've played it for 2 hours. Whole 2 hours. Wait, my name is... Wait, what's my name? Hold on, who am I?
I don't know.
Am I charging? Why you have time and I'm different?
I don't know.
What happened to me? Huh? Am I not charging checkups? I'm charging tech. I had the lowest combat, but the highest objective. Okay, well that's I would say enough of warm up. Let's play rounds right away.
Okay, sounds good.
Oh, we have 8 placement games. Oh no, so we have to try.
Should I think I should use, instead of the zip line, the gas grenade.
Oh yeah, well, what was it the new medium? Did the medium get the new thing?
It's data reshaper. It's stupid.
Oh, it's like going through the wall? Is that what it is? Just
It changes certain things into other things. It's stupid.
Ah, I see. That is dumb. Wait, what was the one that allowed someone to go through the wall? I saw that.
Yeah. I think that's what light has.
I mean, that would make sense, but I don't see them, do I? I see the
Let
gateway.
me see what. Let me do the heavy.
Oh, there's also a new gun. That's neat. Hey, heavy got a like an anti-gravity cube, which looks awesome. Oh, heavy's got something for movement now. That's gonna be really powerful. Slow movement, but still movement. Dematerializer. It's a perk that medium has.
Oh,
That's interesting.
gravity.
Damn, mediums always hoarding all of the updates. There have been about 6 people in this chat. I feel like more than 6. Make it is getting worse. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying. Yeah. Who are we all to say anything that we're saying? I've been really yesterday I also had a stream with Flame that was really fun. It turns out Flame is doing some awesome things, and I mean really awesome.
Oh, awesome! Like what?
Basically, like quantum chemistry. That's if I that was I feel like the best way to summarize it. So, chemistry, except like extremely specific one. So, you know, casually, I know it was a minor part of what he was doing, but casually measuring the bond lengths, for example, which I think is amazing. It's just so cool
That's
how we can
great.
just measure bond lengths in it. If I, oh, these atoms, tiny things which we can't even see, and actually seeing them is a huge engineering challenge. Well, yeah, this is the exact distance they are apart. Sometimes
I've
just-
seen those microscopes that are just like a super small fiber that just
yeah. So basically,
vibrates on
using
top of the
touch.
material.
Yeah, you're basically
Yeah.
using touch to detect things, and that makes sense because you basically with light you're doing the same thing, except with light you're actually sending it forward and backwards. I guess then you're not doing the same thing. Never mind. I don't know why I said that.
It is. I mean, when it gets that small, it's all really crazy.
I really want to do some advanced science, as in build something which would actually use the quantum mechanical properties of metal.
Yeah, so I have a light table that I'm working on, and so I measured the speed of light, and you can actually do a beam splitter, and you can adjust it, and you can actually measure some quantum properties of light, especially once you use laser blade.
Well, what I
laser
was thinking was a bit more
and lasers.
clickbaity, not gonna lie. Not for the purpose of clickbait, I just like the sort of thing. So we know the photoelectric effect.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
so
what Einstein won the Nobel Prize for.
yeah, so basically photoelectric effect, photons are used to energize electrons, basic idea. Or emit, whatever. The point is, I was thinking, like, if maybe there would be a similar thing you could do, something like that, where you could energize electrons using radiation.
Yeah, what is it? Is it
And-
a radio mass spectrometer? What, I can't remember the name of that.
I don't know, but I thought maybe
It's
there
like
would be
two
a
pieces
way.
of.
You could energize electrons using radiation, and I haven't done any research into that because even if there was a way that it would be too expensive for what I can do right now. But can you imagine like because then you could actually build a small version of that, right? And it would basically be a tiny nuclear reactor. And I want to do that sort of thing. I don't know why. I just do.
Yeah.
It's just something I don't need one. I have an outlet which is much more stable and better. And when I say stable, I don't mean the radiation poisoning thing. I mean as in stable, as in it keeps the voltage consistent. So I have an outlet.
Have you seen those radioactive batteries that supposedly China's going to sell? They last for 50 years. You never charge them. They just are meant for like embedded devices, and they're safe. They're safe to like not eat. I know.
BV100. 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 I mean, if they hold on. Where's
It's the 50 years one. You know?
I'm looking for like a how do they walk? Hold on, how do they walk? That sounds so fun. Also, the person who you're talking is right about the name of the equipment thing. That is Tefta, and then yeah, Tefta tends to be right. That's a general good rule of thumb.
Beta voltaics. So they use beta particles and turn it into voltage, I guess.
Precisely what I'm saying. Actually, that's exactly what I had in mind. Just
Yeah, and so, but getting your hands on something like that is so cool, and it should be possible.
yeah, it shouldn't. I mean, it is certainly. I wouldn't even say it's difficult. It's just that it would be expensive because, well, it wouldn't be expensive. It would be expensive if I want to do it safely.
Yeah,
Because in order
yeah.
to do it safely, first of all, I would need a Geiger meter to make sure that I'm not leaking any radiation. I'm not the biggest fan of radiation poisoning. Like, I don't want to kink shame, but I myself, pass for me.
I like my DNA where it's at.
Yeah, I feel like. I mean, I'm not. Everyone's got their own DNA. Everyone's unique in a special way, but I'm solid where mine is. Hi, the Quan, by the way. This is the finals. I actually used to play a lot. Oh, in the electrical. Oh yeah, right after Additional Quantum Mechanics. Actually, that was the last time played it. Right before the electric to electronic video came out. I mean, the reactor, building a nuclear reactor is fun for the whole family. Am I right? It gets a bad rep. When you hear nuclear reactor, people think of like, oh, radiation, nuclear bombs, and but I wouldn't explode the radioactive material to get the energy. That's such an inefficient way to do it. For real, right? Can you explain in caveman terms for me what I mean by building the thing? By the way, it's taking us a long time to
I know.
find people.
It's
I
crazy.
think that's because we need 5 people apparently, or at least party has 5. I don't know. Or
Oh
maybe it's
yeah.
because no, teams of 3. Never mind. It's looking for 1 person. Can't find it. But in caveman terms, okay. But simple. Do you know electrons? Do you know these little guys? They live in your atoms or in molecules. You're full of them,
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, I'm pretty certain you have like at least 7 of them. Yes. Okay. Cool. So
I counted once.
yeah, I also, but I lost count after like 7. So these electrons, right? They have different energy levels. And so basically, photoelectric effect, for example, means that you take a photon, so light, and we think of photons as light, which is wrong, because photons aren't actually light, they are basically the particle of energy. That's basically what they are. And so if you
The
shine...
packet of energy.
Yeah, that's elementary particle of energy. So, you know, when it comes to elementary particles, there's, I think, 25 of them. Oh, wait, no. 4, 8, plus...
There's 17,
17.
that are popular. It depends on if you go a little bit deeper, but yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the widely accepted...
because there's yeah, because it's interesting because they're kind of breaking ground. But I always looked at the core 17 when I tried to make a little
and
diagram
we'll
for myself.
we'll go off on a tangent here in a second because I'm certain there. I feel like we're both thinking about the same thing here, but we'll go on to that in a second. But electrons are basically the elementary particles of negative charge. Photons are basically elementary particles of energy. In both cases, there are asterisks attached, and it's an overexpression, but that's the basic idea. So if you take a photon and shine it at the electrons, you can use the energy to create a more energetic particle of negative charge. I am confusing it even more than it needs to be confused, actually. The point is, you have a piece of metal,
is
shine light,
confusing.
and it produces energy, electricity. I mean,
Well, yeah, because this is what I was taught. I remember that if the light shines on an object or a molecule, don't the electrons actually kind of go away from the atom? They go into higher orbitals because they absorb the energy, and then they fall back down. And how far they fall is calculated into the frequency of light that's reflected.
yes, which is
So that's interesting. That's
and then
crazy.
What you can also
complicated.
get is you can also get like a transference, what I learned from Flame yesterday, is that you can like the orbitals, the energies can I'm really screwing it up right now, but they can basically kind of shift into a something. I don't remember exactly the names, but the point is, and then they can slowly trickle down over time, and that's how you get phosphorescence. For example.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Flame
crazy.
did a much better explanation yesterday, and I just don't remember the words honestly. But yeah, cool. Rock go shiny lights up precisely. You take a metal, shine light, it gets zap. So what I was thinking is, what if you just used radiation? And would you look at that? There's another rock which actually emits that radiation. How convenient. And so what it would basically mean is you take a rock that emits radiation, you wrap it around in a wire that absorbs radiation, and then that radiation gets turned into electricity, which would be basically a nuclear reactor. And what would be really cool about that is that it would work like it would be a reactor, which is, by the way, what's the difference between a reactor and a battery? If we may take a second, what's the difference between them? I don't get it, honestly.
I don't know. Well, reactor is
feel like-
where there is a reaction.
Yeah, but
So
that's the same
its
thing.
name
Battery.
denotes.
The same thing
Yeah.
happens with alkaline batteries.
Well,
That's
then
just-
what's the difference between the flask and a reactor? Because inside a flask you have chemical reactions
the reactor?
in the same way.
Oh, because like no, I mean like the reactor. Basically, words are used differently for the purposes. So I feel like the difference between the reactor and the battery is just a convention. If it's big enough, we call it the reactor. If it's small enough, we call it the battery. I think that's the difference. But like, that's a good question. What is the difference between? What would be the actual difference between a reactor and a battery? Because alkaline battery, for example, that's just a chemical reactor. That's just
Yeah.
you're basically we have well technically you have two reactions. No, technically you just have two reactions.
Hey, Allie.
Hi there, Ali, by the way, hi. Nuclear reactor for cavemen. What's really funny is that the way I imagine it, you could genuinely, the way I imagine it is, I don't know, maybe I am biased, but you know what? In my opinion, science is a means to an end, and in my opinion, also terminal goals are never purely good or purely bad. And because of that, if I want to use science for childish reasons, then I should be fucking able to, because it does what I want to do, okay? So the way I imagine it is I imagine basically like a piece of radioactive something wrapped around the copper wire, and or just something with, I mean, it will have to be absorbed in some way. It's just, you know, what I'm imagining, right? That's what it would look like. Piece of radioactive
awesome.
thing wrapped in the copper wire, and it basically looking like the Tony Stark arc reactor, you know, Iron Man. That's what I want. That's just a childhood dream of mine. I just want to build an arc reactor. What I think is funny is that I'm pretty certain like a key part of the arc reactor was palladium. And
Yeah.
what I remember when I was a couple of years back, I actually did a bit of a deeper dive, and apparently arc reactor, that's just something they made up, isn't it?
I do believe, and like what they were showing was like a plasma inside of a glass thing.
Yeah, but
So
yeah, arc reactor is completely made up. It's not a real thing, and I don't mean like it doesn't. I mean, it's even the method of how it would work is in no way
it's made up.
Yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, it uses palladium and it makes energy.
Well, I mean, there's interesting stuff that like I do silly. There's a guy that does like perpetual motion machines. He debunks them and he makes them in his shop. And so I literally am working on the bismuth asymmetric capacitor right now, and I'm trying to get voltages upwards of 150,000 volts. Super
I
low
wonder
amperage.
what you need these voltages for actually. Tefta, what would you need?
Supposedly a high voltage, low current asymmetric capacitor has anti-gravitic effects. That's what Townsend Brown says. There's patents on it. And it's a $70 experiment. So all you need to do is set it up and test it. So I'm just going to test it in my own lab just so I can say I did.
Hold on, we need to, I feel like.
And there was actually a article in the Debrief where they said an ex-NASA scientist, this is like a legitimate news, not like, you know, underground conspiracy stuff, where they said they were able to repel gravity with the thrust of something like this.
I'm curious how.
It was actually in the Debrief. Yeah, so they started with an asymmetric capacitor and they moved to something else. But
Yeah,
you can tell
I
by
mean,
the wording.
like how it makes like how it works to actually, because it's negative. That's bizarre. Just bizarre.
Yeah. And it's really bizarre as they posted that article in the Debrief, which is a reputable news outlet here.
Oh yeah, and the tangent, by the way, we left is that elementary particles. What I wanted to say about that is that the way elementary particles are discovered is insane, because they are elementary particles. How do you measure elementary particles? Well, the answer is simple.
Right.
Not easily. in a very elaborate way. And so when it comes to the Great Hadron Collider,
So I think that's why. Yeah.
So
That's always found fascinating. Don't they induce an electric field? Because I built a cloud chamber, right? And in a cloud chamber, if you add a electromagnet to it, you can tell by the curvature of the path, the type of and the polarity of the particle that you're witnessing.
what I find really interesting about the Great Hadron Collider is that if they discover a new particle, then it isn't discovered. It isn't considered discovered. I think Higgs's boson had this whole thing where like they discovered it, but they kept trying to get it, you know, kept testing to see if they would get it for, I think it was years before they actually officially accepted that it exists. So you can get elementary particles, new ones, you can discover them, and then, but if you only do it like, I don't know.
Isn't it like it measured in sigmas? like a 3 sigma result or something,
Oh,
because
it's
there's a
difficult data.
threshold that they use, and I think like 3 sigma, it's a percentage accuracy
Yeah.
that I think is a threshold for publication or something. Because especially you're dealing with like the uncertainty principle, right? Because there's certain things that you can measure when you get down that small.
Yeah,
So
so you
you're
basically
you're
have to.
literally the edge of knowledge.
Yeah, elementary particles, right? Like
Yeah.
measuring elementary particles is so insane. It is, but
And trying
hold
to
on.
be confident, like, yes, this is
Yeah,
this
and
small
that's why
thing.
it takes years. Once again, if I do remember correctly. But one thing which I really want to reply to is from Bad Simple. Make it inference. Do you think that it's possible to create a fusion reactor on Earth and have it release more energy than it consumes? Bad Simple. I am so glad you asked that because, oh boy, do I have some strong views on the not on the fusion reactor itself. Well, yes, I do have strong views on the fusion reactor, but what I have mostly strong views on is the fact that people don't know about the fact that we have made a fusion reactor and it did release more energy than it consumed in what 2022, I think.
Yeah, the giant laser.
We already did that, and no one.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people cared, and this, people who like science freaked out. But
Yeah.
but then it was barely reported.
The laser, like just the chambers of the thing, yeah, were like super large, but it was fusion.
Yeah,
And it's consuming, but technically we still believe that you're
it's
you're
consuming.
transferring the
I think
energy
it was
from it, so it's consuming mass. Yeah.
yeah. It was basically it released a little bit more, but that little bit was still like a little bit relatively to how much they put in. But it I think it was
Yeah.
megajoules.
Yeah, so like they put in so much, but it only fired for so long. But if it fired for a longer period, yeah.
It performed in 2022, and what's so insane, it took more energy overall to cool everything else. Wait, did it really? Because
Yeah, it would have had to. I mean, because unless they can, it's not like sustained, right?
yes.
So the amount of energy to power up the thing, just the laser, is probably insane. If it was continual, it probably would have a net positive outcome. But
After all the adjustments, the ensuing fusion reaction yielded 3.15 million joules of energy, about 1.5 times the input energy. Reported physical news total energy needed to power NF is much larger, of 350 million joules, but these are not designed to be energy efficient. It means that fusion is still far from a practical power source. Another experiment in July 2023 used a higher quality diamond capsule and obtained even larger energy gain of 1.9, meaning nearly twice as much energy as when in the reaction. In the future, it should hope to be able increase it from 2 to 3 million joules up to 3 million, which could kick off fusion reaction with a gain as large as 10. What's still so insane to me is that, yes, lab experiment, not reactor, like technical reactor, fair, that's all fair. But it wasn't reported at all. It wasn't reported practically at all, and I'm so upset. This is groundbreaking. And I mean groundbreaking with a capital J. It's like, you know how like right now people report on AIs? Like the AIs right now are really massive. This is basically GPT-2 of nuclear fusion.
yeah,
And no one
that's
can.
good.
I feel like that's a pretty good analogy. Yeah, I mean, yes.
It is a very good analogy, I think.
Yeah, because for GPT-2 also only people who cared about AIs, only those knew about it. But then next step is GPT-3, and for that next step will be just like a reactor that will be actually useful.
And was it still using the thermal properties of that to generate electricity?
No, I don't remember. I have a capsule in the future. I mean, I think yes, fusion, right?
Because fission, of course, uses heat and then just steams water, and then it goes into a turbine, which is still kind of funny.
But that's such a wasteful way. Like thermal energy is the it's the ash.
Man, they really don't like us as a team members.
Yeah, I think I don't know what's the problem is. Fine, we'll do quick play. Power shift. What is power shift? 2 teams of 5. Oh no, we want the teams of 3. Cash out. Let's do cash out. That's why it isn't commercially valuable. Yeah, I know it's not commercially valuable. I fully understand. But still, come on. It's not gonna get commercially... I blame the. You know what? I blame the journalists. They care about the insignificant stuff. I blame them. I blame them all. How come journalists get? I don't know. I'm pissed. I'm pissed. I want a fusion reactor. Practically free energy. That's what it is. To be fair,
Yeah, I
solar
think
solar
so.
is also pretty cool. I guess the fact that solar right now got so advanced is also a strong reason for why fusion isn't getting as much progress as it could be.
Did you see that mishap they had with the solar water things? They a bad storm ruined a whole bunch of solar panels.
Oh no. It is really good groundbreaking energy producing fusion reactor. It would be great clean renewable energy source. It's not renewable. Yeah, so it's not renewable. But when it comes to non-renewable energy sources, I think it's like in the list of top 5 physically best, as in, you know, theoretically best non-renewable energy sources. That's like in top 5. Solar is better. Yeah, that's what I mean. With current technology, solar is better. Taking
Game
non-renewable
found.
have a lot of fuel. Yeah. Oh, fine. Yeah, but that's because we're not playing ranked anymore, because too long. Also, it does not make money because of fuel. Yeah, but what capitalism, man? Capitalism, you get me again. Oh, damn you, capitalism! I'm gonna get you back one of these days.
I feel personally attacked.
No, it's a distinction. Actually, a major distinction. Because when people mostly complain about capitalism, they start getting it right. But basically, they complain about neoliberal capitalism. And so you know how like markets are great, because they are.
Yeah.
I'm an anti-centrist, but the point is markets are great. So what neoliberal capitalism is, you have anarcho-capitalism, so just markets, and then what neoliberal capitalism is basically capitalism, except you still have government. And if you still have government, then the big companies can lobby the government to, you know, reduce the market pressure. Because why fight the competition when you can just make it illegal to compete? And that's why everyone complains about neoliberal capitalism, where, you know, like, people who don't like capitalism don't like it, obviously, and people who like capitalism don't like it because it actually doesn't have the actual upside of capitalism. But that's like the over the tangent. The point is, residual heat. Hold on.
It's early evening here, so visibility
Ah,
is
so much goop.
good for the arena.
Yeah.
Certainly the calm before the storm.
Okay.
Oh, I have to hold shift to run. Oh, wow. That's such an improvement.
Pretty sure we'll see some exceptional action from the teams today.
I don't know why this guy is just shooting me, but apparently we're trolls.
The jet setters are probing
Oh, no.
Preparing explosives.
This person is just
the mighty swooped on
Okay.
the cash box.
Yeah, ho, 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 ho. Cash out B.
Shoot for cash out B.
Oh, why do I have crouch on toggle? That's such a bad idea. Do we have infinite? Oh, we don't have infinite revives. Okay.
First elimination. Ready to detonate.
The mighty are
They switch up the
themselves. First cash out started.
the way grenades work up
Started a
too.
cash out.
I'm gonna go revive you. I'm just gonna.
okay.
It's actually a perfect example of why fusion is inefficient. Well, technically,
Breach charge planted.
fusion is inefficient. Saying that it is inefficient, it's because, yeah, this is tough, because if you're comparing it to stuff like solar energy, then yes, fusion isn't perfect. But if you're comparing it to other available things,
Daring cash out steal.
then fusion is. If you don't compare it to solar, fusion is amazing. That's my point. But the reason why like, solar is better is because solar basically already uses a fusion reactor without all the nasty problems of the fusion reactor.
Vantage bomb out.
So saying that solar is better is kind of cheating, in my opinion. Hold on, where's the people? Yeah, so solar is basically the ideal state of a fusion reactor. I think that's why it's better.
There's a guy down here, but
Oh yeah, I'm
It's okay.
looking for him. I am actually on my way.
Got some of them, but
Oh, I see him. Got him.
nice.
Nice. New J-Rush video is great. I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen the thumbnail. I haven't had the time. I was too busy being sad and tired. We are on fire. Wow,
We are.
I haven't died a single time.
Know how to steal a cash out.
I killed two. This is nice talking about science and
Where
playing.
is-
Like this is a dream. He really gooped it into non-existence, honestly.
As the Red
Yeah.
Sox return to action,
Good
they'll be
job.
looking to
Yeah, I mean, you know, I was upset about him gooping, but if he's gonna goop like that, that's good for him. Dyson sphere is the yeah, but Dyson sphere is basically the ideal solar panel. So you know, solar panels are basically the ideal fusion reaction, and Dyson sphere is the ideal solar panel.
Yeah,
the jet setters at the helm.
I mean, that's actually a pretty nice way to put it.
it
Actually.
is. Yeah, yeah.
Have landed at
I'm just laughing of its cleverness.
When you think we're gonna
Okay.
get Dysons, that's gonna also be pretty cool.
Oh, up here, there's a guy.
Yep, I see a lot of them.
And there's two different teams, red and
Okay.
okay. I'm about to die.
Run, run,
running,
run, run, run.
Throwing some.
I'm gonna steal the thing because I'm just a sneaky little bugger.
Luckily,
Yeah!
it's
up a cash box.
Nice.
I'm gonna come back, don't worry. No, getting there.
No worries.
Cash out underway thanks to the jet setters.
I can
Okay.
revive myself.
You know
Don't
what, yeah,
worry.
Probably should,
and I'll get.
because I don't feel safe.
I got 10 seconds or 7 now.
I'm ready.
Thanks for inviting me. This is fun.
No, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for being here, actually.
I'm gonna revive.
Yes, I'm gonna defend.
Nope, he's not. Okay,
Explosives deployed.
I'm coming toward
Oh,
the.
we're back in it. We're doing great.
Oh, she eyes. I almost cussed.
Destruction and mayhem characterize the first.
Almost cussed in English.
I can't wait.
Okay, I'm going
These teams
for
sure have got the sponsors humming.
our teammates since you're there.
A bite being taken
Okay, well.
all three by the mighty.
No, they really don't like me. I wonder why.
The mighty
I
got
heard
the cash
beeping.
box.
I heard beeping.
Yeah.
And I don't like it.
Oh, they got it. They got me.
Don't worry. They don't got it yet. You are them fine and them not at all in danger. I am doing so well, in fact, that it is crazy just how high the friend. You mind if I just hop over to this building? Crystals are falling apart. I am calm and Tefta. I am on my way to save you right now. Do not even worry for a second. It's all gonna be just swell.
Nice.
See? It's fine.
That
I'm
is
so fine.
insane.
I'm so
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I love Spider-Maning around. I'm so glad they didn't have the hook.
Oh no.
Okay, it's fine. We just need to defend the D. Get back. Damn it. No, no, no. Oh, you suck so much.
Know how to rob a cash out station.
Yes. Okay, I died. Our teammate has shield. Dyson spheres and diffusion, that's right. Yes, precisely.
Cash out secured.
Honestly, I'm curious how hard would it be to make a reactor, like a
It's time for
big
our
one,
contestants
like
to
a.
hope for the best but prepare for the worst. That's right. We
Nice.
But it's not really matter.
Yeah.
It's for safety mostly. We should make gun-based reactors. Put Americans in there. What's really funny about reactors is that we're not longer at the point where the issue is getting energy. We're at the point where the issue is getting it efficiently. So basically, for example, that's why you don't really see any. That's why you don't really see any heat-based reactors anymore. Like coal and natural gas are considered, you know, the old tech right now. Even though natural gas is and coal still being used way more than they should be, they are considered old tech precisely for that reason. They're like heat-based, and thermal energy is the ash of energy.
The retros have a cash out in the works.
Thermal energy is what you don't want to be. Oh. Alright, let's see.
Enemy spotted! Down there! Gray cloud out!
They have absolutely no idea.
Looks like a team wipeout for the mighty.
I'm just following the heavy so I can keep him healthy.
I'm stealing.
Fight the comeback.
Okay.
Oh, I'm stalled! Yeah!
And just like that, a new vault has appeared in the arena.
Oh, I can crouch with control. I've never crouched with control in this game. Oh, C is toggle. Oh, I see. I see.
The mighty have returned to the arena.
I'm
Nice.
such a cheesy little stinker. I'm in the corner. I'm right here. Hi, the thefter.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm such a cheesy. I just from here I sniped the guy. I feel awful actually. So mean. Oil is huge in America. Natural gas is getting huge. Natural gas is becoming the new oil in America because Americans have a lot of natural gas, which is environmentally pretty risky. Because like methane leaks a lot and it's more, I think 80 times more potent than carbon dioxide. And 80 times, that's a lot. Power could probably be an issue because someone get energy from a black hole. Yeah, but solar is, so far solar is good enough. Until we actually need that energy, I would say solar is more than good enough.
They're coming in, but they're fighting each other.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm here. He won't steal it on my watch.
Oh,
No, you grouped the wrong guy! There we go. Got him.
nice.
Ah! We're great. The ratio of petrol to civil engineers in South America is crazy. Almost 2 to 1.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, but a developing country, you know. So, you know, that's fair. Probably, we were on fire. I forgot how good we are at video games, you know? Forgot just how awesome we are. My objective! Oh my goodness, I have 4,000 objective. If we had a heavy, we would basically would rule the world. We need to find a third person.
Yeah.
And someone also from like someone who enjoys science, so we can, whilst waiting for the tournaments for, you know, 7 hours, we can chat about random science bits.
Oh, by the way, I looked up the 17. It looks like there's 12. Oh, it was a 12 and 5 split. So yeah, I wasn't completely off base. But there's probably like a billion of them now.
Billion of what?
Subatomic particles.
Oh yeah, well they're not subatomic, they're elementary actually. They're
Oh,
different.
elementary.
Yeah, they're, I mean, pedantics, of course, I have to include. But, because subatomic is like proton. But then you have...
Yeah,
which
elementary.
which is wild, by the way. The fact that proton, you have to make a distinction between proton and elementary, that's wild already. Hey, you know atoms? Yeah, you know things that make up atoms? Yeah, we actually broken those.
Those down.
Okay, I've watched one round. I'm gonna go to bed now. Good night. Good night, Ali. Have a good one. Have fun.
Good night, Ellie.
Oh yeah, you've been sitting the entire time we're waiting for a game, waiting for us to play one. The ratio of us waiting for a game to us playing a game is wild.
It is.
Could get the game. Never played it before. Oh, it's you have to adjust because it's quick. Do you think we'll ever find something similar, something smaller than a quark? Well, there are 3. Actually, I thought about it today. I thought also about making a video about like elementary stuff. But the point is, there are 3 possibilities. And first one is that
Yes, no, maybe.
I guess. But the first possibility is that it will just keep on going forever. You know, we'll have a quark, then we'll have something smaller than quark, something smaller, and they'll just keep on going forever. And we'll never, and you know, there isn't actually a smallest one. Second one, which is that they will keep on going forever, but they'll go on forever recursively, which means, like, you know, for example, you have a proton, and then you would have the up and down quark, and then you have up and down quark quark. So quarks that make up quarks. They could go forever recursively, or there's a third possibility, which is the most probable so far, from what we know, and also the most straight up bonkers, which is that they genuinely are the smallest things. And you know how, like, in movies and, or just in general, when there's magic, right? You don't get an explanation for why magic happens. It just does. That's always what happens with magic. Like in Harry Potter, you have magic. You don't have an explanation for why magic just works. It just does. That's the same
you
thing.
bring that.
That's the same thing with elementary particles. They are magic. Just magic. You have electrons. Yeah, electrons. They basically carry negative charge. Why? What do you mean, why? They're elementary particles. You can't ask a question of why they carry negative charge. They don't carry. They are negative charge. Photons are energy. Why are they energy? You can't ask a question like that. They just are. It's basically like, I don't know.
Everything is energy.
Yeah, it's basically like asking why is length? Well, or why is time? It's one good question. It just is, which is insane, and I love it. And what is really negative charge? I think personally that negative charge is a misnomer. It should be called opposite charge. I get, like, mathematically why you want to do that, but I think it should be called opposite charge. Because negative introduces... because negative suggests that, you know, protons are positive. But it's a convention. Could you make a brick out of electrons? No, in the same way as you couldn't... Well, technically a brick is made of electrons, I guess. Like, technically. Okay, should we wait for the ranked, or are we going for quick play? Because...
Let's go quick so we can play another one.
Yeah, because this is just taking way too long. When it comes to making brick of electrons, they all repel each other. So, like, imagine... What would be a good example? I don't even have a good
I still think
example.
it's funny how we claim, like... I think it's interesting that science says the speed of light is the fastest that anything can go, but it's also the same speed at which all of our tools run, and that the smallest thing is what we can measure.
It's not really
but no, yeah, but if you think about it, like it is true though that it's the fastest. It's all of our tools are limited by the speed of light.
The reason is it's not really that it's the fastest. I like to call the speed of light the most constant of constants, and that's because to say the speed of light is basically the infinity of velocity. And so basically, when you have all of the equations, right, the most accurate equations we have for all the models, what you will find is that as you get closer to the speed of light, all of them just approach divide by zero. All of them. Time dilation, length dilation, all of them. Just basically, in some way or another, approach divide by zero. And so basically, when it comes to speed of light, it's not really like it's the fastest. It basically means that if you move faster than the speed of light, it would be kind of like having a number larger than infinity.
In the equations that we have to describe.
In the equations that we have, yeah. There's obviously a possibility that they are wrong.
But what I'm not discounting that. I'm just saying it's funny, just like our most accurate tool that we have in the world is literally smashing two rocks together, right? And that's what we do, right? But that doesn't mean what I'm saying is wrong, right? It's just a funny way of looking at things. But I also look at the speed of light is the speed that our instruments run at, right? Electricity and all this stuff. And it's just funny that we claim so certainly that it's the max speed when it just so happens to be the speed at which all of our tools operate at the quickest.
Yeah, I mean, that's
just, I find it funny.
But that's like Bayesian, that because to say that it is certainly, that's just called being unscientific. If you because obviously this is, but so yeah, claiming with certainty, that's just being unscientific. But if you just say that according to our current models, speed of light is the fastest, it does make sense, because then you'll realize that all of our, because then it would be both the effect, I mean, it would be also the cause of why all our things, run on these things.
Just imagine if we didn't have any electronics, so the only way to measure the speed was to ride a horse, that was very precise, right? And then you would run beside a cheetah, you know, and you're on the horse, and then you're like, oh no, let's ride a cheetah. Okay, you ride the cheetah, nothing's faster than it. Cool. You know, this is the tool in which we measure the speed of all other animals. It's similar somehow to me. I find it funny, comical that we just hubrisly say that the speed of light is the fastest, is the cap. When I don't think we've gotten that close to it, other than the Large Hadron Collider. So we can actually calculate how much energy it takes to get a percentage of the speed.
No, there's another. I think because I think right here actually you might be. I think this might be the first time when I actually might be able to teach you something fun. The first time.
Oh yeah.
The first time ever. So I gotta make
It's not
it
the
count.
first time. I
So-
watch your videos.
So basically, when it comes to speed of light, the reason I know if you know why I call it the most constant of constants.
Finally, the kingfish.
I know if you're aware why it's
Well,
the most
because it
constant.
changes in different densities, so it's constant in a
Yes, but
vacuum.
in
You mean?
no, in a vacuum it's constant when perceived when you're moving with any other velocity, which means that
Relativity.
which means that if you're moving at the speed of light and you look at
Yeah, if
another
two people
object,
are going half the speed of light, you measure speed of light outside, it's at the same speed.
Yes.
If one of you is going half the speed of light in a train and one of you staying still, you know, one of you shines a flashlight, both of you measure it, both will measure the speed being the same.
Precisely.
Even though
Even
one
though
should
it-
technically measure a different speed. And that's time dilation, length
time dimension
dilation.
and
Yeah.
length, yes, precisely both. It's okay, so you're fully aware of that. So basically,
Yeah.
the reason why the speed of light we assume it to be the fastest is because when it comes to these models with time dilation, speed dilation, you have damn it, fudge ow yow. Yes, you don't have fudge ow yow, but I'm having trouble thinking and running honestly, but I can make it happen. I'm smart. So the reason why I wouldn't say it's hubris is because if you found a speed of light
The tough
where
shells are back.
which appears to be the fastest, and unlike any other velocity in the universe, the closer you get to it, you still don't get any closer. I know what I'm saying makes sense,
First cash out
but
started.
you know,
Yeah.
if you have a horse and a cheetah, right? You ride the cheetah and it is faster. But if it was actually the speed of light, it's actually kind of like having a horse. You have a cheetah and then you have like a eagle diving down, right? You switch from a
Yeah, yeah.
horse to a cheetah, and the eagle still is at the same velocity from what you perceive. So the eagle still
Yeah.
seems to be the quickest, even as you increase in.
And so GPS is an example of that, because GPS without time dilation wouldn't accurately locate people on Earth because it has to take into account that its clocks are off because it's going like 17,000 miles an hour.
Which is also insane. The fact that we have to actually account for time dilation is really cool.
Yeah.
My personal opinion, I'm so awful.
Literally, GPS would not work if we didn't account for time dilation and many other things, actually. Whoa, no, 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 no. I got one guy at least.
Because they are just probability, right? Atomic supernucleus. And what is the heaviest atom can be before it collapses of its own weight? I don't know. That sounds like an equation problem. So the answer would be probably boring. You just
What's
get a
also
number.
interesting, here's what's interesting though, that light changes speed instantly when it changes the medium in which it goes through, and light technically has a small amount of mass, right?
No.
But it instantly decelerates, but it can't have any mass.
It
So
doesn't.
that's what's
Okay,
the
okay,
really
so-
weird thing, is that it instantly speeds up.
So
But you could just say it's not actually moving, it's the wave
so
through the
light
property.
doesn't have mass. We actually have a different set of equation for massless particles. Instead of mass, it uses frequency. So, and because of that, it can actually instantly accelerate and deaccelerate without breaking everything. Because we just say, oh,
Because it's special.
yes, it really is. It's
But
our
it
unique
can have a
favorite
measured
boy.
mass at times. Isn't that interesting? So we have an extra rule for it.
I think
It's
we
like,
just-
well, it has mass, but it doesn't have mass.
Yeah. We have extra rules because it's so. I had the three equation note down for massful, massless, and massive particles. Okay, I'm gonna attempt to revive.
A new vault. Our contestants better
Up. My aim's
Okay,
bad.
I'm gonna
But you're safe.
attempt to revive.
They're going up the.
Okay, here we go.
No, I just think it's interesting. In 1,000 years, I hope someone finds this video, and I bet you there's something faster than the speed of light. And it's not that we can't. It's a limit. It's just that going up to it takes infinite amount of energy, right?
Yeah, that seems like
So
a pretty heavy level.
that's the barrier to going the speed. But if you go faster than the speed of light instantly,
Then
that's
I
interesting.
mean, if you go faster than
Or
speed of
warp
light,
drives?
that's time travel, which I think is cool. I don't think it's impossible.
Yeah.
I personally don't think it's impossible to go faster than speed of light. That's my personal
Yeah.
view. I should make sure that it's not like a scientific claim. That's what I personally think. And
Whoa.
if we figure out how to move faster than speed of light, then we just can basically time travel, which is cool. Also, we
That
can
would be
length
true.
travel, which also is interesting.
We just passed the midway
Because of
point this
time, because you know, you would also have.
The contestants are definitely
Wait, no,
showcasing
it doesn't have a square roots. I think
Let's see if they
it's
can
not actually
maintain
negative. I think it's
their
imaginary. I think you get imaginary results if you haven't something faster than speed of light. Wait, that's actually way cooler now I think about that. Because I'm pretty certain there's a square root there. Which would basically mean it's not like moving, you're not really moving backwards in time, you're moving imaginary through time. That's insane.
That would be crazy.
I wonder. Wait, why is there like an open
There was
ceiling?
an
Can I-
experiment that was like
Okay, well,
there was an experiment where they had to remeasure it a whole bunch of times because they thought they were measuring the speed of light wrong. That was like 10, 12 years ago. That was a big thing in the science news for a bit. And it turns out there was just an error in their calculation.
they don't see me. They have no idea. They have absolutely no clue. I hear an invisible one.
Nice.
I killed that guy on accident. Actually, didn't mean to. Sorry about that.
A contestant just cleverly defended their cash out from being stolen. Sweet.
Okay. Okay, it's fine. It's all good. It's all good.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's all
Oh, they had a
fine.
healer too.
Yeah, it's goop, 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 goop. They almost did.
Oh man.
Ah, that's a powerful team combination. Having a we should have. Ah, damn it! Why didn't we go for the healing?
Has banked that one as well. That's 2 cash outs in row.
9% raise from.
Both of our healers, yeah.
Time. Oh wow, there's so much chat. Okay, that is cost time is correct. Time version is so awesome. Was the entry large mass? Stationary meaning anything about anything that we have.
The Kingfish have recovered and respawned.
We talk about AI and get into politics. It happens frequently.
I go into politics all the time. It's a personal challenge of mine to actually relate everything I can to politics. I like J-Rage a lot, and J-Rage is basically my favorite artist. And this whole thing is that he basically uses politics as his, as his art medium, and I think that's awesome in my opinion.
That's a cash out for the tough
Running, he ran for a post-ironical campaign for the mayor of Ottawa, which I think is, I just respect it. Alright.
Our laser is active. Any contestant who remains still for too long is in for a painful surprise.
But the monster will be so much that it would. Hold on, I actually missed where I'm supposed to go because I was reading book on the mechanics.
It's overtime. One final opportunity for our teams to climb the leaderboard.
The Kingfish have a cash out in the
But
works.
mass so much that it would accelerate the atom faster than speed of light. What happens? That's the whole point. That like, no matter if you go to the very extremes, it still would just be the speed of light. That's why it's the infinity of velocity. Basically, if you would need an infinite mass to you would need an infinite mass on a zero mass basically to achieve that. Okay, we're gonna do something risky and dumb.
Oh, there's a. I just put a gas canister down.
I just added another cash out, honestly. So that's
Awesome.
gonna work. That's a double cash out there.
Sorry, guy.
Having speed cap is so lame. I mean, I wouldn't say it's lame. We have a number, which is an infinity. That's about as cool as it gets. No! Don't hit my Tefta!
Um,
No, he didn't. Okay. Okay, well, I died. I ended up dying. Behind you!
Yep.
Good.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah!
For the tough shell.
Nice. Oh, nice.
For them.
Yes!
The socialists are back in
14 more seconds! Ah, damn it. Oh, they're gonna get now. Wait, there's a sonar grenade. What? Oh no, is that motion sensor?
Yeah, light can have it.
Oh, it's a motion
Light can have
sensor.
solar grenades.
Damn it, they stole it.
Wires outpaced opponents, seizing a
We're against two full light teams. The universe is speed limit.
What's funny also... Oh,
Go ahead.
never mind. I was just gonna say what's funny is also like the uncertainty principle could be a sign that we're living in a simulation, which is also kind of hilarious.
That was my first that was my first physics video I've ever made actually. It was called the Universe Engine, and the entire
Yeah.
video was just me talking like, oh, so me talking about like how developers of the universe did a wonderful job when it comes to optimizing it. And,
Yeah.
And one part of it was like, oh yeah, and the fact that when it comes to the polarization of light experiment, I was like, oh yeah, and the fact that they don't actually keep the information about which way light I think is polarized, and instead they just come up with it on the fly. And yeah, calling it the uncertainty principle, that was a bit cheesy of them, but that's actually great because then they don't use random access memory. Instead, they just do calculations on the fly. So I first because it's really what it feels like
Yeah.
when you accelerate
They're
1
taking
kilogram of
shortcuts.
one mass and half a kilogram of the other way twice as fast. Wait, what? I don't really understand what you're saying, Ramkat.
1 kilogram of one mass and the other way. So it's like that's Newtonian physics, right?
Yeah.
1 kilogram out, 0.5 kilogram the other way. So one would go at a different speed than the other.
Yeah, but I don't really understand how I don't get it. I just don't get it. Discovered by Maxwell. Ooh, Maxwell was a nerd. Mean. Someone would have VC to ask it. Kinda hard to explain. Just math me up. I'm good with them values. Not numbers, but values. So variables. That's my strong point.
Just so you know, I was such a nerd when I was a small kid. I came up with my own paper on the squirrel dimension because of an argument I had with my grade school friends.
That's so with squirrel dimension. That sounds amazing.
Yeah, because they're trying to make the claim, which is probably true, about the fourth dimension, and I'm like, whatever. I don't ask me why, but I came up with my own rules, and I'm like, it's just as arbitrary.
Oh wait, fourth dimension. Actually, what do you think about that? That's a good question. We haven't touched on fourth dimension. That's crazy.
The fourth spatial dimension, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting because it would be 90 degrees or orthogonal from all other.
Yeah, in the
that's
fourth,
like by
in the
definition.
fourth dimension. What I think is
Yeah,
really interesting is that if you have a fourth dimension, if there exists fourth dimension, then there isn't really a reason for there to not be an infinite amount of dimensions.
Yeah.
So
There's a really good TED X talk about visualizing 9-dimensional space. It's really cool.
I mean,
It's one of my favorite.
I've made 2 videos about that, and I'm gonna make a third because I don't think I made my point clear enough. But people misunderstand dimensions. When it comes to dimensions, people think about them as like these major grand things. No, it's just you add one number. That's the point.
Yeah.
You have 3 dimensions, that's 3 numbers. You have 4 dimensions, that's 4 numbers. The difference between 3-dimensional space and a 4-dimensional space is that in 3-dimensional space, you need 3 numbers to describe the position. In 4-dimensional space, you need 4, no matter what you do. And so, if we actually had a 4th dimension, then if you had a 4th and 5th dimension, for example, then there isn't really a label. Like, it wouldn't be a 4th and 5th dimension. It would be just one of the 4 or one of the 5. Right now we live in a 3-dimensional, and we don't have a 1st, 2nd, and 3rd dimension. We just have 3. You can't tell which dimension is 1st, which is 2nd, just 3rd. So yeah, that's
Yeah, well, that's why this guy's talk is pretty interesting because he talks about it's easy to visualize 9-dimensional space because it's really, yeah, he does a good job explaining it. He has some nice visuals.
Yeah, I should make a video.
But
Because
yeah.
I need to be better. That's a vain thing of mine.
I need to get better.
So if you launch 299, 792 kilograms at 1 meter per second one way, and then the corresponding 1 kilogram meter the other way, it would go faster than the speed of light, right? If you launch them
And
both
blow up.
at 1 meter per second, then they would both have 1 meter per second. Unless you mean like for them to collide. Because if you mean for them to collide, then no, it wouldn't have... If you mean like you set them both to go the opposite ways, as in for them to collide, then no, it wouldn't go at the speed of light. It would get close to the speed of light, and it would actually, the spatial and temporal dilation, so it would basically experience time and distance differently, so that from the perspective of the object, it actually the physics apply, and so that from our own external perspective, physics apply. So what you have to remember, the most confusing part is that speed of light has to remain constant, but the length and time can change. Which I think is cool.
Oops, I did not think this through. There we go.
Oh, I'm so awesome. The universe, is there no objective frame of reference? That's kind of the point actually. That's precisely why speed of light is constant. If our universe wasn't relative, it wouldn't be constant.
Looks like a team wipeout for the live
Okay, no point. The point is, that's actually the whole point of relativity, is that you have the speed of light.
I need backup.
Oh wait, oh Fangs is at the bottom now. Oh, that's gonna screw me over really hard. The point is that speed of light isn't really constant, it's just that it's constant from the outside observers. So outside observers experience time and length differently from the object that's moving at the speed of light. The speed of light in quotes.
players are back in the arena, folks.
How would that work? Basically, the object experiences distance, as I mentioned. It experiences distance and time differently, so that it kind of cheats its way. That was so cool. But no time to...
Whoa.
Head to Vault 3. Stand clear.
Ah, damn it.
What are you doing here?
No, that's the thing. Something gets closer to the
Okay.
speed of light, the respective time slows down to our precisely, yeah. The quicker you go, the slower the time gets. That's why if you move at the speed of light, the time is still, basically.
Happen in an instant.
So,
For the outside observer, not for the person traveling.
well, actually, no, for the photon, for example, the time is still.
Live wires have started a cash out.
Photon lives out its entire existence as like, for its entire existence, photon is just... that's
Right,
it.
but if you go like half the speed of light and come back, you won't experience as much time as other people outside.
Yeah,
of
because
you.
the time slows down.
A calculator.
So the time slows
Yeah, it
down.
slows down for the outside observer. It's
I
relative.
think, isn't the thing that like, okay, wait, can you say for whom the time slows down? Because like, it's relative, right?
Well, you have to because it is relative. Yeah, not only I think
So,
you
I
have
think-
to.
I think it slows down relative to someone, or from someone
Yeah,
relative
that's
to you.
slower.
So you can't like objectively say for who it slows down. It just slows down relative to other people. So if you have 3 people, one who's traveling at 1/3, a second who's traveling at 2/3, and third one who's traveling at full speed of light, then you could just only say how much time slowed down for each of them relative to another one. Not like in total.
Yeah.
So
There's not an objective time necessarily,
Ready
but
to detonate.
yeah. So, but for the it should have like it should be instant though, right? So what would be 1 second for the photon? Yeah, it would be a million years for us.
well, what would be 1 second for the photon would be an infinite amount of time for us.
Infinite.
Because the time is still for the
Yeah.
photon, yeah. And so that's why if you go
Yeah.
faster than the speed of light, then 1 second for the photon would be... If you go like a little bit faster, then 1 second for the photon would be like in negative billion years, for example, for us. And that's where the... oh, actually, I think imaginary. I have to recheck. Hold on. Let me check that. Time dilation equation. Video from Big Black Holes. I haven't seen that. Yeah, it is a square root. It is imaginary. It would
Is
be.
it t at velocity equals t over the square root of 1 minus v over c squared?
You
Because I
got
think that's
the
the same for length.
yeah. It's t.
Yeah, it's length and time.
Time dilated is equal to time times 1 divided by square root of 1 minus velocity squared by
Yeah.
speed of light. So, and that was cool. It is confusing. It is extremely confusing. Hard to think about. I think, in my opinion, Minute Physics, I think, made the best video about this. About relativity is phenomenal. A whole series of videos about relativity.
Yeah.
And they all just explain it perfectly. That's why I don't touch this, because Minute Physics already did a perfect explanation. There isn't really a point for me to get involved. Imagine how
great.
smart you would be if you put his glasses on.
Cash out in progress. Still retros.
Yo! I am so awesome. Do you all see the gaming I'm performing, by the way?
Gaming.
If you thought you've seen gaming, let me show you this now. You'll see what true gaming looks like. Okay, Kefta, I'm coming.
Cool.
Look at this. Watch this. That's what people say before they die. But not me.
Hold my beer.
Because I am way too awesome to die. No, they haven't seen
That hubris got you.
The live wires have recovered and respawned.
Time is relative, a scientific catchphrase. Yeah, it's a pretty good catchphrase. I fall for. I mean, it is a bit cringy thing to say, but I do it. Whenever I'm late, I say time is relative, or whenever I'm early, or basically whenever I
think-
just don't keep my opportunity time, I just say it.
I think neutrinos are also like that. So technically, neutrinos shouldn't, or I can't remember what they measure, but it shouldn't actually hit the Earth, but it does because of time dilation.
Yes.
Because they should like disappear.
Yeah. It
before,
basically the ozone layer, I think, should be catching them, but it isn't. Well, no, it's not. There's being only we see a higher percentage of them than we should be seeing, and that's precisely because of time dilation.
Only 30 seconds on the clock.
Oh, here we go. We're gaming.
We're gaming indeed. Up. Blow you up. Oh, we are gaming so hard. I'm going in.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Oh, this is an elevator. Of course, this. Okay, no point.
Oops.
I won't get it.
Congratulations to the
Ah.
Yep.
Lions using
Another question in space-time pretty high level yeah, minute physics on the reduced 10 out of 10 would recommend. It really is phenomenal. How many more geniuses do you think there would be if we didn't drink alcohol? I don't know, let people have their fun. If someone wants to do drunk science.
Some people, there's a funny case to be made that the Industrial Revolution happened only because coffee came about and potable water didn't contain alcohol. Because alcohol used to be a way to make water potable, able to be drank, because it kind of cleansed it.
Easier,
right?
It's easier than
It's
boiling it.
alcohol.
Basically, cheaper than boiling
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So there is a case to be made that the Industrial Revolution happened because more people got sober. It's kind of funny.
Cool. I think we could do study because it will actually increase perceived intelligence due to placebo effect. Oh, that's actually, you know what? I wanted to say that obviously they don't, but you know what? Due to placebo effect, that actually might happen. I put my lab coat whenever I want to do some real science, and so that might genuinely make me smarter. Huh.
Those muon photographies are pretty cool.
Oh, the one. You mean the ones where they like.
Panda Master was talking about. Egyptologists use muon radiography for cosmic rays to probe the makeup of the pyramids.
That
And
is
they found
awesome.
another opening above one of the walkways or whatever.
That is awesome. I'm feeling like savant syndrome can occur from fetal alcohol. What is a savant syndrome?
Savant is someone that's autistic but has exceptional gifts.
Oh, I see.
And then, yeah.
Frequency 1 in
But
million people. That's a lot of people. So
yeah, Egypt in there has had some interesting things.
I've heard a lot of scandalous things in the way of Egypt's present archaeology. Oh yeah, that's. I mean, I don't know that much. I don't keep up with the current developments around the world. I just, well, I actually do, but I don't want to get into the actual controversial stuff. I just like to piss off people who really like capitalism, people who really like communism. It's a hobby of mine. I should really make another video. The 4 videos I made, which were called in order. Capitalism is horrible, capitalism is great, communism is horrible, communism is great, because I want to make sure that I hit all possible demographics. I should remake those. That was a lot of fun. Where are you from, Maker? You can't pin down your accent. That's good. That's good. That means it's walking. That means I'm slowly turning. Some people think I have a British accent, which, well, I appreciate it, but I don't think I do. It's a Slavic accent you're picking up. Well, it's not really a Slavic accent. What you're picking up on is an accent which I've deliberately made attempts to hide, which originates from Slavic accent. Yeah. So that's why it probably sounds like a mess. I just sound European. So
Zahi Hawass, he's the guy that's kind of, he always shows up in conspiracy stuff. For Egypt, sorry, I was trying to think of the guy's name.
I mean, I've been watching a lot of Mini Minutemen, and that's why I like the conspiracy things. Because when you take a look at it, first of all, I should make a whole video just about science too. The reason why is because the way I use science, which you made me realize recently, is that I used science, the term science and scientist in a different definition from what most people have in mind. What I have in mind when I say science and scientist is like science is just a way of thinking, as in you have, it's basically causality, right? You have a cause and effect. And based on that, you're trying to come up with conclusions. So that's why a scientific way of thinking would be basically you have evidence, and based on that, you derive conclusions. Then you test those conclusions, and you come up to. So that's why, for example, you can never be 100% certain of something, because you have to account for the fact that all of your evidence might not actually be evidence. Like you may live in a simulation, for example, stuff like this, and that's why.
Yeah.
So I think of science as like just like a. I want to say lifestyle. It's not a great word, but something like a lifestyle. So, you know, it's like someone can be religious. So religious would be like another kind, right? In science, you question everything. In religion, when you're religious, you accept that God exists and you believe. So, for example, in that case,
usually by definition.
Yeah, by definition.
Because that's a good. It's faith based, yeah, as opposed to.
And so that's why I don't mind religious people. I think you should absolutely allowed to be religious. I have no problem with that. But what I do have a problem is mixing religion and science. Because if in science you're meant to question everything, when it comes to religion you're meant to believe, then mixing them together leads to problems. Oh, this guy just. Oh, you must feel so awful, my guy. I'm sorry, I just completely wrecked this guy. Wow, I feel sorry for how much I wrecked him. He brought me down to like 10 HP, and then I just turned around. I just went invisible, went around him, and absolutely demolished him. But like, and so just like a religious person, just like you don't need a degree or a paper to say that you're religious, in the same way, I don't think you need anything to say that you're a scientist. In me, scientist is just someone who lives, you know, with these kind of axioms in mind.
Go for cash out B.
Cash out B, but they're already going for cash out B. We're gonna die if we go for cash out B. I'm glad I picked that up.
I'm glad I helped somehow. I don't know if I helped.
I mean,
You said I did though.
yeah.
First cash out.
Science is interesting. I
I
like that definition.
Yeah,
I'm trying to. A lot of people are using this term first principles that I'm trying to. Oh, this guy is having a hard time.
well, let me send you a battle your way. There was some sort of reason why I started talking about this.
The overdogs are back.
I don't remember why. There's a reason why I started talking about the way I use science. Okay,
Going for the revive.
I'm gonna mine this up.
Explosives are set.
Because you have a science channel.
Smoke grenade.
Maybe this might seem related. Okay, well, that's
But
risky.
science, I think, it's literally in philosophy. You'd say science is coherent truth, right? So, because that's my like overarching. Because I'm trying to categorize all worldviews and objective reality. Because like science kind of assumes objective reality, just because otherwise science would be based off of.
Yeah, and that's precisely why I
Yeah.
think it's just like a worldview thing, and that's why I don't think that the religious people are wrong, because it's you always start with some assumptions, and so
Yeah,
who am I to
like
say
the
that
video on
my
abstraction.
yeah, who am I to say that like my assumptions that science actually makes sense are better than the assumptions of someone else that religion makes sense? Like from a religious perspective, science is actually pretty dumb. From a scientific perspective, religion is pretty dumb. But you know, it all doesn't matter because they're different things. Obviously, it goes the other way. It goes both ways. Can we get it? I don't think we can.
Impressive steal by the overdogs.
You going? Yeah. Okay, I killed
I
someone.
got you. I got you. I got you. I got
It's
you. I
fine.
got you.
I'm good. I don't have a grappling hook.
We tried.
I was so close. I was gonna jump out of the window and then grapple up, as I do, but I don't have a grappling hook.
Yeah, because I think like relativism is interesting. Like, but I like science, but I think there's a lot of. I think every system that involves humans, we should treat like artificial intelligence, like we do now. We should measure the outcomes and try to become more scientific as a humanity, I think.
Yeah,
So I'm for science, and I'm for like trying to solve problems. And it seems like there's so much stuff that gets in the way. I wish I had the answer. You know, that's why I think a lot of people, they just point to religion for the answer, or science. And I don't think any answer is really satisfactory. Like, no, even if someone told you this is Bob made you when you were 2 and the universe is made out of cheese. I mean,
the
it
meaning
could
of
be the
life is
truth.
42.
How would you know? Like,
Precisely.
it seems like to be the common human experience that we just don't know. We're in a state of.
And that's why that's why I think of science as like this belief thing where you question everything, but it's still a worldview. So you're not. So as a scientist, you basically. This person. Hold on, there's a fourth thing right here. There's an enemy right here.
Cash out in progress thanks to the boundless.
Oh, I am so awesome. Oh, I'm so handsome. I am so. Oh, wow, I'm so intelligent. But yeah, I'm dead. Okay. Oh, I wanted to read up in chat. Actually, it's convenient that I died so much. Okay.
Oh,
There we go.
Mistakes they made there.
Be careful.
Yep, he's got me.
I just heard the sound of the heavy running through the wall. Oh, why they? Oh, that's you know what? I respect that. Wait, they disconnected. Oh, for a
if
second,
someone systematically.
I thought our teammate
Alright.
was being really smart because they killed themselves so that we wouldn't have to waste tokens, but they just rage quit.
Oh no.
Which video of video present? Which prediction will be true? Science can coexist if you have the right mindset. By definition, they can't. I mean, they can coexist. It's just that you can't be both. Like a. You just can't approach.
I think a lot of people
something.
would disagree with you.
I
think
mean,
a lot of people
they can
disagree if you
no,
make it.
no. It's just that when you.
'Cause there's a
how should
lot
I
of
put this?
people that claim to be both.
You know, yes, you can be both. Yes, as I mentioned, they can coexist. It's just you can't approach a single problem as both a religious person and as a scientist. You have to do them separately. So you can't approach a single problem from a religious perspective and a scientific. You just can't do both at the same time.
So what would you
Because-
define as a religious perspective then? Since you defined a scientific perspective, what would be the definition of a religious perspective?
You have basically a deity, right? And so religious one would assume that this deity, well, depends actually on religion. I guess science in this case could also be religion. So it's kind of like mixing religions. Oh, that's actually a phenomenal one. Yeah. So imagine science as a kind of religion, right? Like Christianity, you believe in the God, the God, right? And
Yeah, sure.
yeah, in science you believe in the method. So basically you believe in cause and effect, you believe in evidence. And so imagine like
Or you believe in, because actually, if you want to have a good analogy, science, the collective of other scientists and their agreed upon method would be the God. If you're trying to make like a one-to-one.
Yes, precisely.
So like
And
the
so-
body of scientific work would be the ultimate truth, I guess, as opposed to in a religion, you would say a deity or multiple deities might define the objective truth. As we're in science, it's
Yeah, and that's why
guess
it doesn't make sense to me
nature.
to approach this both religiously and scientifically, because like imagine approaching something both as a Christian and as a Buddhist. You can't do both at the same time. That's why I say you can't do both.
I'm not sure. Buddhism, because what is it? The meditations of Buddhism probably could.
Yeah,
There'd be a good example of two religions that you can't be both, but I'm sure there's someone out there that claims that they are. I'm a Satanist and a Christian. Okay, I'm a anarchist
Yeah, I
and,
mean, and you know,
Republican.
yeah.
Like, okay, I don't know.
I'm a
There-
leftist,
people-
I'm a leftist
Yeah.
Republican who hates
People will
America.
prove you wrong.
I mean, they can claim to be that. It's just that I don't think they can be. I don't think they can truly be. I think that's the same guy I demolished earlier on,
And
actually.
that's relativism. Then, sweet.
Hold on, can we...
I can be- You don't define my truth, make it. I reject your reality and substitute my own. That's the famous Mythbusters quote.
That was nice of them.
Tefta, I'll save you. I'll
Thank you.
fucking save you.
Oh, that's
Don't
pretty
get
close.
die. Okay, almost. I was really feeling it. Honestly, I was really in the moment there.
You saved my idol,
Yeah,
my little totem.
yeah. That was impressive because my hook was... That was milliseconds actually. Perfect calculation. Me being staple religion.
See, this
guy
is where
here.
I think that I like definitions though, because I think you can have a good conversation if you clearly define, and oftentimes
The steamrollers
the working definition of like faith or religion that I heard of is faith, where
Well,
it
that's-
actually melds really well with science, right? Because
Yeah, I mean, in science you believe all the time. That's kind of the point. You like you
Well,
have
yeah, and you
the
have faith.
assumptions. That's kind of
yeah,
faith.
and your video on abstractions is like abstractions are useful for us to be able to parse and understand the world, you know. So I think they can combine, but it depends on your definition. I could easily see that someone could argue that they're not compatible if you rigorously follow them, but that's almost like a hypothetical situation in which you're imagining a perfect world. But most people agree on this, that
Yeah,
I
Cole
guess,
says that he would say
Every
he's
word.
scientific and religious, and I mean, yeah, I'm not arguing that you can't be scientific and religious. I'm just arguing that you can't when you can't approach something both religiously and scientifically at the same time. So
did we just win as only two people?
oh yeah, I actually stole the cash out at the very end, so and that put us from the last place to the first, if I'm not mistaken. We casually, whilst talking about philosophical aspects of science.
And religion.
That's the most make it Tefta kind of stream. Just casually winning the game as a side thing. But yeah. Satisfactory. Oh, this isn't
But-
satisfactory, this is actually finals. But so hold on. I have a thought. Oh yeah, right. So the reason why I say you can't approach something scientifically and religiously at the same time is because of how the mix of science and religion, how dangerous it is. As in, it's basically just like, so let me give you an example. When it comes to the creation of the universe, for example, Now, if you if your religion is just being, if you approach it from a purely scientific perspective, then you can say that, for example, you don't know how universe happened, for example, or you can say that you have this theory about how universe was created. When you approach it from a religious perspective, then most of the time you will say the God created the universe, right? But if you mix the two together,
depends on religion.
yeah, that's why I said most of the time. That's why I said precisely why I said most of the time, because obviously not always, but
This is what I think of, because when I think of religions, I usually have to fit the major ones, right? And so there's, you know, multiple theism or polytheism. There's monotheism. There's deists. There's theists.
Yeah.
So yeah, if your statement is a coherent one, it should be able to be applied to the religions, and that's why I think you should clarify
here's the thing.
definition.
Here's the thing. So you have the scientific, right? So I don't know how the universe was created, or I have a theory about how the universe was created. Then you have an example of a religion. So as an example religion, you have God created the universe, right? Both of them are fine. I would say both of these are fine by themselves, right? But then you can mix them together, and I have a theory, God created the universe, to which neither side is truly happy, because then the religious people, not the religious people, just from a religious perspective, it would be basically Pascal's wager. And then from a scientific perspective, the people would just ask, okay, what created God? People would just keep going further. And so basically, that's why separate, they are fine. Mixing them together causes a lot of problems, where, you know, if you mix them together, scientists will push back against religion, so they'll start asking a lot of these questions, and religion will push back against the science. And I don't blame them, because it is just, these are just straight up different ideologies. Of course they're gonna clash. And so if you're on purpose trying to mix them together, because keeping them separate is not hard. You can be religious and scientific at the same time. If you have like a lot of Christians, for example, who walk in biology. And for example, if you walk in biology, you believe in God, but then what are you supposed to believe in? Evolution, or that God created all life? Well, that's where the problem happens.
Well,
obviously, that's not Christian, that's a Young Earth creationist, if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, you can't at the same time believe in... You can believe that God, I know, created evolution, but this would just lead to more problems, more scientific questions, and that's basically the reason why I don't think you should mix them. Because when they're separate, it's completely fine, and it's not that hard. You can be scientific and religious at the same time, but when you mix them, you basically making both sides really unhappy. It's basically like, you know, having, you know, steak tastes nice, chocolate ice cream tastes nice, but chocolate ice cream mixed with steak, I wouldn't need that. Well, I would, but, you know, probably would be great.
Sounds pretty good.
I think another important distinction is also, if you're religious, you don't have to approach all problems religiously. Besides, that's what I'm saying. That's why I am wording it extremely awkwardly, because it's mostly about the scientific approach and religious approach, not really about the person themselves. I would say that mixes way.
Oh, where are they at?
That is very, very rare. It is very, very rare, because it is a very uncomfortable thing to mix. The person. Die.
I'm getting revived. Nice.
Almost.
Thank you.
Almost jumped up.
Look out! One of the powerhouses just took down several opponents at once.
And also another reason is that once you start mixing them together, then science has like more weight in our current times, because if you think of religion as science, then science as religion, then it's basically the most popular religion. Everyone on Earth, like in every place on Earth, has like a scientific place where people do science. We do science every day. We have some evidence, based on them we reach conclusions. So I would say it's like the most widely accepted religion in this sense, and because of that gives it more weight. And the problem here is that once you start mixing together, then people will try to use science to check which religion is right. And I don't want that. That's not gonna end peacefully. That's gonna end in violence. So please don't.
Make it 5 reasons not to mix religion and
Yeah, I really are.
science.
I really don't like mixing them. I'm light, I'm scared. I would disagree. The modern world is completely built on Judeo-Christian values. Oh, that's you. I was scared me. Ah, that's best now health steering. Get back. Be careful, there's mine. You would wait. You would disagree to what? Personal religions to establish morals and science to discover. Not really, because we're defining religion differently. Our working definition currently is basically axioms. I would say that's a solid way to define it. I think. So you always need some axioms, and that's what religion gives you. So certain unquestionable axioms, like God exists, or question everything, or stuff like these.
There's a new vault
Yeah.
to fight for in the arena.
So
I don't think religious people would like that because the definition is very vague.
Dogs are on the way to glory.
Like faith-based, like if you are religion, you could say would be someone that believes in something supernatural.
I don't think
be more
supernatural
specific.
because like to the religious person, it's not supernatural,
The rep-
right?
contents of Vault
Like
3.
Yeah, but
You know-
you're relating it to a scientific person that
yeah,
there are
but
supernatural
that's why I
things.
mentioned. I think that science is also the form of religion then, because
Yeah, definitely.
yeah. So just like so that's why I think it's not supernatural. So for example, to a Christian, God isn't supernatural. God is just natural. Is
Overdogs are trying to
almighty
leave
and
their opponents in the dust.
omni all of the things. I'm not good with words, but it's not
Time. Don't
a magical being. He's not a fictional being by definition.
Our sponsors must be thrilled, and I'm sure they're eager to see what the second half brings.
You should do a Beat Saber stream. I don't have VR.
yikes.
There's a caution of religion from but basically said you spend hours studying school instead of school and praying and get 100%.
Wipes
You're
have
going
more
fail.
consequences in our tournament format, as it will cost them a percentage of their
But they are
earnings.
completely different though, and mostly
So yeah, so our dictionary definition of religion is the belief in and worship of a superhuman power or powers, especially God or gods.
if I believe, wait, hold on. If I believe in,
So, because I use this argument sometimes when I'm talking to my close friends that if a scientist created us in a simulation, like we're in a computer in a simulation, then by all definitions, that scientist would be God
yeah,
because they turned on the simulation, right?
wait, but
So
by
the-
definition, but by that definition, if I believe that Amazon will take over the planet and they will lead us into a transhumanism,
Yeah.
and they will just, I don't know, then Amazon is my god, and that is religion.
Well, technically, by definition, by our useful definition, yeah. And science, you could say, believing in the body of work of science and the processes that we vet those papers or whatever, that would be a religion. Yeah, but it's a little bit more useful definition of religion because it defines it clearly. So if you believe in a supreme group of scientists that make judgments for all of humanity, that's definitely a religion. Or a cult. I
Alright,
guess.
that's not a cult,
Cult and
actually.
religion. Sometimes, yeah.
I suppose the science I have in mind is not religion, because I don't, as I mentioned, I don't like it's basically appeal to authority. It's a fallacy where like, oh, I have a PhD, you should listen to me. I mean, yeah, if someone has a PhD, you should listen to them. It's just that just because they have a PhD doesn't mean they're right.
It means they're right. I was trying to make something funny, but I'm not that funny.
It means they're right more often. Like if you disagree with someone who has a PhD, your chances ain't great. Oh, I can't do barrel kills anymore. They switched up the way the barrels work. Yeah, I just went from one fight to another. I don't really want to get into it, but also God isn't like really like a supernatural force, like something that can perform miracles. Well, I don't know what you mean by that. But the point is, let people be religious. Just don't, because as I mentioned, I've seen it done actually so often. Pascal's wager is a perfectly fine example. I don't know if you know what Pascal's wager is.
Yes. You
Yeah,
should
yeah.
act as if there's a God, even if you don't believe it, because it has worse
Infinite punishment, infinite
worse
reward,
result. Yeah, if
basically.
you're wrong.
And that's like a
So-
perfect example of what I mean. Pascal's wager is like a perfect example of why you shouldn't mix the two. Pascal's wager is religiously problematic and scientifically shaky.
But again, it's relatively perspective. If it turns out that there is a god, and right, then Pascal's wager would be the most logical things human have ever thought of.
Yeah, but you
because
see-
we don't know ultimate reality.
Yeah, but
it
you see,
depends on your
that's
perspective.
what I'm saying, right? If there is a god, so from a religious perspective,
Yeah.
okay. But what about a scientific one? Scientifically using
Yeah,
infinite
Pascal's
reward
wager.
and
But that is Pascal's wager, right? So if God actually exists and you're wrong and you viewed science as the greatest ideal and it turns out that you actually have to do XYZ, but you're now going to be punished for all eternity, then Pascal's wager is the coolest thing in that universe because that should have shown scientists that they should have been religious, right? So Pascal's wager to a scientist, if they're right, that's the whole point of Pascal's wager. Is
Yeah,
that
but then
you
there
are
are-
making
there
a
are
wager
ways
by
how
making
to-
a decision.
yeah, but then there are like ways to disprove. For example, what if there's an anti-god? So God with,
Yeah,
with
yeah.
opposite values. It's equally probable, if you approach it scientifically, it's equally probable that there's a God with opposite values, and like then the Pascal wager actually flips. So
Yeah.
now we have two Pascal's wagers.
But,
no
but
matter
again,
what
it's
you
all
do-
relative.
Yeah, no matter what
Yeah,
you
but,
do,
all,
you
but
get
it's all
screwed.
relative. And but the point of Pascal's wager, we can't use. We shouldn't use it for like a aha because then we're assuming that we know what base reality is.
Precisely, and that's
Yeah.
that's my problem because people who use Pascal's wager, they would use it as the aha. You should follow my religion because Pascal wager says so. Well, no, don't mix religion and science. Don't do that. Don't say that.
Well, I
You
mean,
should
it's a
actually-
valid argument, don't you think? Because, you're not to say that the person's trying to convince you, but I think you should think about Pascal's wager. You shouldn't just go through life because that would be not very scientific.
Yeah, but that's
so
a
what
very
can we
scientific
learn
view.
from
You should
Pascal's
think
wager
about Pascal's
about
wager,
ourselves?
But what I'm saying is that when you mix
Yeah.
religion and science, you can end up with something like, "Hi, I'm make it, and I believe in maketism. I believe that everyone
that's actually a
subscribe to
fallacy.
make it." Yeah, that is a fallacy.
That's a
precisely.
logical fallacy. No. What you're saying is a logical fallacy. It's a fallacy that you're taking this logic down the road and saying that this will happen based off of past events. You're saying it as if all events will lead to things that have happened in the past. Now, I'm not disagreeing with you, but the type of logic you
mean
just
like
used there
what
is
events? As in,
the statement that, yeah.
because what I mean is that keeping religion and science separate is not difficult. as I mentioned.
But that's your opinion, yeah. So your opinion is that if you mix
Yeah,
science and religion,
that's why I always say that
bad
I
things
think.
happen.
That's why I always say that
Yeah.
I think we shouldn't mix science and religion. Is my strongest take on the
But
stake.
you're treating that as if you're talking about that as if that's true in every way that you're framing your conversation. So by doing that, that's known as it's a type of logical fallacy.
Let me lay out what I mean.
It's
for you.
one of many perspectives. Yeah.
Let me lay out what I mean for you. So basically, I have three assumptions. Okay. First one.
And I understand your assumptions, right? And I understand what you're saying, but I'm also pointing out that you're using a logical fallacy
Well,
by
that's-
saying,
that's
which
key-
I do not agree with.
Yeah, but actually,
And
that's
so
the,
I
that's
don't
the
think you
problem.
heard-
Because I want to make sure that we're on the same page.
No. The problem
Three
is
assumptions.
no,
Okay.
you don't understand me. Make it. Listen for a second.
Yep.
So the logical fallacy is that you're framing things as if religion and science mix are bad. I don't agree with that, and I don't
I'm
think
not framing
everyone
it.
would. I think, so I don't think inherently when you mix religion and science is bad, but you do, and you're talking as if that those things do turn out bad, which I agree that has happened in the past, but I don't agree with that assumption.
Okay, can I give you my
So-
three assumptions to my argument?
Sure.
So, assumption
ahead.
number one is that it's not difficult to keep science and religion separate.
Okay, what
That's my
you have to
first
say
assumption.
that again.
Is
So
that
what's
it's,
the first assumption again?
it's not difficult to keep science and religion separate.
It's not difficult to
yes.
keep them separate. Okay.
That's my
That's
first
your first
assumption.
assumption.
Second assumption is that on average, when you mix science and religion, it has more of a negative effect than a positive one.
Okay, but I don't agree with that. I don't think you can even make that statement, and I would challenge you to say that's not scientific statement to make, because you're making that assumption that it is
They just
when you don't
don't
have
have
any data or evidence,
Well,
which I find interesting.
I don't have a
right
study
because
on
I
it.
don't think that you. No, so you are talking from your
that's my
own
yes,
personal
from my own
worldview
personal
of
view,
how
yes.
you have. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not scientific.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not
That's
saying,
not a,
I'm
you-
not saying
that-
it's an absolute truth. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that I think. So those are what
and
I
I'm
mentioned.
telling you, I disagree
be-
with you.
No,
yeah,
it would
yeah.
be a
and
fallacy.
so I
It would
think
be
that
a
your
fallacy
argument.
if I said that like mix of science and religion is objectively wrong. Then it would be a fallacy. But I don't say that mixing science and religion is objectively wrong. I mean that I don't think it's good to mix science and religion,
Yeah.
and that's why
True.
it's not a
Well,
fallacy.
that's fine.
Yes.
And I just disagree with that. I think science has done some bad stuff, but religion, as it's categorized by definition, I don't think is inherently bad.
Yeah, I don't
I think
religion's bad
the
either.
act of blindly accepting stuff can easily manipulate people, and bad stuff happens.
I'm not
But-
gonna criticize religion because I think like as I mentioned, I don't think we should mix religion and science, and so if I want to be scientific, then I cannot analyze religion. But by my own rules, which I have set for myself,
Yeah.
I just can't.
yeah. So,
So
there's-
that's why I don't have opinion on whether religion is.
and
good
if
or
you
bad.
do, you should do so from a scientific method by
Yeah, and-
looking at statistics. Like,
Precisely.
hey, when we introduce religion into this versus when we don't, and then look at the numbers. Yeah.
That's why. So that's precisely. Oh fudge. So we know how you can believe in heaven and be a scientist, right?
Yeah, I assume because a lot of people have claimed that they believe in both. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
it's
say
very
that
common.
they're a
It's a fairly common thing. So in the same way, I believe in science, and I believe that you shouldn't mix religion and science. That's my religion.
It's
And
a funny one.
yeah, I mean, if I had the resources, I would do a study and I would check if it's actually good on average. But since I don't, it's just a religion.
I like studying religions.
I don't because it's very controversial. It's too controversial for my taste. It does sound
Yeah.
anecdotal.
It's
Yeah,
my
but-
it's my goal to have read like all religious texts before I die. It's one of my goals.
That's wild. That would be a lot.
A new vault in the arena.
Yeah.
It does sound anecdotal, yeah, but anecdotal things can be fine as long as you're realizing they're anecdotal. Difference between a fallacy and because if you think about it, everything I don't have a grappling hook. Everything we say
Aw,
is
man.
anecdotal. Like you did a study. The whole study is anecdotal in the end. And that's precisely what I mean by like even in science you have some underlying assumptions. So if you do a full study, like if you I don't know want to check if cigarettes cause cancer, which I have no idea, right? Then you would do a study, and then it's still technically anecdotal from your perspective. You did a study and you perceived the certain people in this study to behave a certain way. But as once again,
And then you
what
read the
per-
study, and then the placebo effect was what the real killer was.
Yeah.
So if they never did the study, you would have never got cancer because you would have thought it's healthy.
Yeah. Or
The
maybe,
placebo effect could have actually, yeah.
or
yeah.
maybe you just told people to do the study and they just all lied to you. It was just a huge conspiracy. You know, everyone
Yeah.
on Earth was in on it, and they just faked the numbers. And so yeah, that's why.
I think
And so
I
that's
think
why,
the
for
meaning,
example,
the religion is trying to answer like why we're here, not how. That's why I like studying religion, because I'm curious why. Like I'm also curious how, right? But I'm equally as curious why as I am how. And so that's my brain. So when I research different religions, I'm curious what this world is, and I think science is a piece of it. But I think, yeah, people find purpose in all different types of things.
So yeah, so for
I
example,
like passion. I like because when people are
Passion is fun.
passionate about something, I listen to them more.
Yeah,
Because usually they're passionate for reasons, maybe good or bad reasons, but oftentimes.
what's really
you
nice
can
about you can say that people like passionate people are just nicer, because
Yeah.
people with values are nicer. It doesn't really matter what values they have.
Cash out set in
Like you can if you imagine like an evil person, then what always comes to mind is like a evil businessman or evil politician.
cash box.
It's always like, or it's always someone who just wants power, and that's actually just a mistake. Mistaking money is means to an end, not an end. Oh, I hear people running around me. Yeah.
Thank you.
I actually don't think there is reason Christianity. There's a reason in Christianity why God made everything. Yeah, isn't that like a main thing? Don't assume God's will.
Teams need to get
I don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah.
I don't have opinions on religion.
coming their way.
The only opinion, my only opinion is that you shouldn't mix religion and science. That's my only religious opinion
Love that. Make a move for cash
in
out
general. Everything else is too shady.
primed for catastrophe as our
It
contestants
is.
face the prospect of amplified
So yeah, I just want to make clear, it is not scientific. It's not, as in, I don't think I'm definitely right when it comes to not mixing religion and science. I just think that, in my opinion, it shouldn't be mixed.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's fine if you say it that way, but
Yeah, I
stating it
don't
as
know
a
if you- I
fact,
didn't know-
especially not having statistics.
I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but
It's
every single time
unscientific.
I said that I think, oh, I'm gonna, okay, or maybe the,
That guy
Whoops.
finally died.
Watch out! Over there! Honey, I'm home!
careful. Then we can go for D. D is right here.
The cash out key.
Do it.
I just walked into a heavy and a medium. Wasn't Master's Man very passionate? That's why he got power. I don't know. Like, what was his values really? Like taking over the world? Like, that's how you see. That's precisely what I mean. If someone's goals are just not what we would consider means to a goal, then that's how we know there will be a dick. Come on, get back here. Here we go.
Great cloud out.
That's a person. Be careful. They have no idea. They won't even see me. They did not even see me.
Bandit bomb out.
What am I doing? I don't even know what I'm doing here. Ah. I'm so bad at this game.
Yeah! Don't kill me! Ah, damn it.
That was close.
That was close.
Have landed a smooth victory in this match. Thanks again to our sponsor.
That's like a part of a scientific. So, in conclusion, there's nothing wrong with saying I think X. It's just you can actually that's like a part of science, isn't it? The fact that you always say I think. You can't say something is just
Yeah.
true.
Well, you should, but also like be persuasive. Because if you're expressing how you feel, maybe be persuasive. And that's where you should see where other people are at. Like, because if I'm having a conversation about anything difficult, I try to clearly define the definitions because it's difficult ground to tread because it's easy to offend someone, and so it helps me, at least me, to practice my views on my skills, my communication skills, at least.
For me,
But yeah,
for me,
yeah,
that's the
'cause
biggest issue. And I'm certain you realize that my biggest issue is that I'm genuinely missing words, and not like vocabulary. There aren't just words in English for what I mean. Like the way I define
Yeah.
science, for example, there isn't really a word for that. Just
And if you could explain it, I bet. But I think we'd have to lay down some ground
yeah,
rules.
we have to lay down.
Because
some-
it's difficult for me to understand too. Because like I have a lot of friends that I love talking about super deep stuff with, but sometimes it takes like months in order for us to lay the groundwork of our mutual definitions. Because I think a lot of arguments are actually because you might agree with the person, but your definitions are different. And it's funny. Most of the arguments I've had is because we were using two different definitions of the same
that's
word.
and so for me, that's actually precisely why I included the course channel. That's precisely why course channel exists. So I always like the blue and orange example. Example I came up with. This actually is something I talk about so often. I genuinely haven't, or So basically, you have two people arguing about which car is better, and you have car A and car B, and they're like, using these
Yeah.
all these different arguments for why which one is better, and they talk and talk and talk, and you have two options. The conversation can either get heated, or they can stay civil. If it gets heated, they just might, I don't know, kill themselves over which car is better. Obviously, it's a bit of a hyperbole, but nukes.
No, it's good. I can
and-
visualize this in my head. This is
But
good.
yeah, but if they stay civil, they can just remove like brick after brick of abstraction, and they can come to a
Yeah.
conclusion, and they can realize that just one person likes color blue more, and the other likes color orange. And when they
Yeah.
get to that point, there is no
Because I can see what.
the reason for
Because
why
let me
they,
try to
yeah.
let me try to illustrate what you were saying, because I think I understood what you were saying, right? Or you're trying to mean that religion inherently requires you to not think of science because it's more faith-based, right? And you should just accept these certain things. When science, it's like, no, that's highly dangerous. Like, you shouldn't
yes.
just blindly accept this because a lot of dangers can befall you. And in fact, you might find yourself fighting against the truth of reality.
Yeah, in
So I think I
you
understand that
cannot
argument,
say-
and I agree with that.
in order to put
Because
so
that's
basically-
dangerous. In the past, people have been killed because of that,
Yeah.
which now we laugh at, right? But that has happened. So I understand that. But as your friend, I was trying to challenge you because of the
I
way
don't
that
mind
you're
that.
phrasing it.
I don't
It's
mind that.
ambiguous.
That's why I love about talking with you, because we can
Yeah.
we can completely disagree about something, and it can be, that's why I
Yeah.
mean about being civil, right? That's precisely
Well,
what I mean.
and like the brick by brick is really great, because slowly we'll figure out exactly what the definitions are, and we'll be able to have higher
Yes.
level conversations.
What you find
and
is
that's
that-
those are the fun conversations, in my opinion.
What you
I think
find
this
is that
fun.
there are only two kinds of like conversation. When you stay civil, there are only two possible scenarios. Either one person is wrong, or the other scenario is that they disagree on the axioms. So either one person was like missing some detail about the car, in this case, like they just didn't know something about the car, or the other possibility is they have different axioms. So one person likes the color orange, the other one likes the color blue. But you have no idea what's the case until you actually remove this brick by brick. And in the current times on the internet, most of the time, people just assume that the other person is wrong, which is
Yeah.
that's no, don't do that. That's bad. That's pretty bad. That's why, for example, for me,
and it's not
I can't-
helpful.
Yeah,
It's
precisely.
not helpful either, because even let's say I'm wrong, right?
Yeah.
And by you at least being cordial to me, you're learning new listening skills. You can always find something, even if I'm 100% wrong. There's still some value in you treating me nicely. I think.
And also,
you can make
if,
that argument.
if you are wrong and I don't know, start calling you slurs, that's not gonna change your
Yeah.
mind. That's not gonna be helpful. And
Yeah.
so basic idea is, so in order to summarize, like in science, you cannot say by definition that, so that's kind of, I would say that's like the DT of science. You cannot say something with absolute certainty. If you say something
Yeah.
with absolute certainty, that means you're doing science wrong. In religion,
It's why they.
in most religions,
Yeah, I was gonna back you up, because there's a giant clock that all it does is like object permanence that's been running for 40 years. Science still even just tries to make sure that objects don't magically disappear.
Yeah, precisely.
Because they're like, even that could be up in the air. Sorry, I was just trying to add
Yeah,
to what you were saying.
and the easiest example of that is like, what if we live in a simulation? We can. That's a possibility. And so we can't say with absolute certainty we don't live in a simulation. Religion is different because it says that you have to believe something with absolute certainty. And so that to me seems like the exact opposites. Believing in something with absolute certainty, and I don't really have a problem with people being both religious and scientific, because we as humans are never consistent. It's silly to pretend like we are consistent all the time, and I don't think it's gonna matter in the long run if you're religious and scientific at the same time. Go for it. I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem is that if you're trying to approach something in a way which is scientific, you claim is scientific, but also assumes something with absolute certainty. So, for example,
Yeah,
scientifically
that's almost
proving-
like
it's a fallacy, basically. You have science
Yeah.
which says that
that's all.
Yeah.
There's a funny that there's a religious guy that calls Sam Harris more religious than he is, because I find Sam Harris sometimes funny because he's so like certain that God doesn't exist, and I find it funny
Yeah,
because it's like
and
he seems so anti it.
saying-
He's become similar to
saying that
to
God
like
doesn't
what he
exist
doesn't like.
is a religion. Is absolutely is a religion.
Yeah.
That's why I always. That's why
He's
I
like-
always say that I don't know because this, and I don't want to get into it because scientifically I don't have an
Yeah.
answer. That's why.
But you can't. But that's why I like your video on abstraction, because we need to simplify stuff
Yes.
though, just to make sense out of it. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't get much done in the
Yeah,
way
that's
of
why. That's why we
philosophy or-
also say that things with absolute certainty sometimes. Like, oh, that's nice. They just teleported here. That's so convenient. That's why we sometimes say things with absolute certainty in normal conversations because it would just be. It would just
Yeah.
be annoying to say "I think" before every single sentence we've ever spoken. Like, for example, right now I
Yeah.
said it would be annoying. I didn't say "I think it will be annoying." So
True.
so it's in casual conversation, it obviously is fine. I'm just saying that when you're making a detailed argument, that's why if people were just respectful, the world would be just such a nicer place.
It's interesting. I have a lot of really heated conversations. That's why I'm making that coffee clicker, right? to time us, because there's 12 of us in a room that are like having heated discussions. And I think it's healthy because we do try to be respectful. It kind of gets unhinged every once in a while, but I think we do all respect one another, that it doesn't last too long.
That's why I say a really long time ago that a nice way for me to check if I was actually going, if I was actually, if the fame was really getting me, would be to use you and Ali as you know, to measure myself relative to you and Ali, because that's how I know. With you, I don't think I've ever had like a. Depends how we define a heated conversation, I suppose. But I would define it as if you
Oh, yeah.
begin to insult / make fun of the other person, that's when it becomes heated.
Yeah.
I don't think with you I've ever had one, and the reason precisely is that
Yes.
I think you do all of the conversations right, and so if there is a heated conversation, I think it's me problem. That's why I've never had one. So when the conversation is
Yeah.
about to get heated, that's how I know. Okay, I'm the issue here.
Well,
And if
so
people just
you know
have-
my philosophy. I have a little brother, and he was asking me. He's like half my age, and he was asking me some advice. And one of my advices in conversations or relationships is like, if there's ever an argument, both people are wrong, no matter what. Whoops! I just jumped off to my death. But like literally, if you're having an argument or a heated discussion, both people are wrong. Maybe it's like a 1% and 99%. But what I was trying to teach my brother is I can only change my own behavior. I can't change others. So I try to make sure that I'm adhering to my own standards. And I try to see what did I do wrong in a conversation too. And I think that's super healthy.
Yeah, that is extremely healthy.
explain the
And that's
same thing.
precisely that my most controversial thing I've done so far was the fact that I like openly allow talks about racism and just racism and sexism and homophobia in general, because what happens so often on stuff like on, I don't know, Reddit, Facebook,
Aw,
stuff like
man.
these, is that these people get censored. And like, I get it. Racism isn't cool. I know. I'm fully aware. But
Yeah.
silencing them is not the answer. You're not
Yeah.
gonna change anyone's mind just by silencing them. Historically, that's never been a good way to do it. And people who silence others, not on the right side usually.
Hey, Hungry Appleman. They said,
Oh, hi, by the
lovely
way,
stream,
Hungry.
fellas.
Yeah, I really enjoy
Oh.
streams. It's really fun.
I've yeah, I enjoy it too.
I have.
But yeah, it's like the discussions that are difficult where you can get slightly heated, I think are good ones, because sometimes that's
Yeah, as always,
you actually might change someone's mind.
Yeah, we
right?
always come back
or
to the
that's where
issue
you're
of how do you define heated. We always come back. It's always
yeah,
There's always
yeah.
how do you define.
But like
I mean,
yeah.
okay. I feel like I should just call it being a dick. If you're not a dick in a conversation, then yeah, that's good. And when I
Okay.
say dick, I obviously mean the vegetable YouTube. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm having a lot of fun.
Okay. Yeah. I'm trying not to do our team wrong.
Ouch, 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 ouch,
Okay,
ouch, ouch.
okay. You're being...
Spicy.
Okay, I'm dying.
No, you're fine. Oh, I killed myself. Okay. Well, I don't know. I was standing still. That's pretty smart.
Freedom of speech shouldn't
you
just
didn't
be
say.
for people
You
who agree
didn't
with.
say.
Yeah.
I think racism is wrong. Precisely. That's what I said earlier, right? I also thought about saying like, I think, but yeah. Freedom of speech shouldn't be just the people we agree with. That's actually the biggest issue I find when it comes to. So you know how
Let's see whether any
people you have political left and right,
in our
right?
tournament matches, a team results in a
Yeah,
loss.
yeah.
Well, the thing is, political left, it stands for a lot of things which are like they seem to be no-brainers. Like for example, you know, they're anti-racist, anti-sexist, anti-homophobic. Yeah, no-brainers. But so because of that, many people are like, oh, why would anyone be on the right? Well, it's because people on the right, the biggest, like the most constant issue I found they have is that they're genuinely just being silenced. And it's not for being racist, not for being they are just being silenced, and that's I think the issue that people.
Just got word from our
Okay, I shouldn't say on the left, but people who like claim to be anti-racist, anti-sexist, they consider it such a noble goal. Like they consider it fine to reduce the freedom of speech of others because it's such a noble goal. And yes, it is an extremely noble goal,
excitement for our
but
beloved
reducing freedom of speech is not gonna help much with anything. How did Skeleton Soup kill you? As well as our teammate just killed you. That's
Oh, yeah, because I was standing in,
With an air of coolness, the Vogue
it's fine.
I got it.
I swing back.
the ultra rare swooped up a cash box.
Oh, no.
It's fine. It's fine. Ah, it's not fine. It's so not fine. Ah,
Ah.
it's got it. Ah,
Our contestants
there wasn't a third barrel for me to check. And so,
Yeah, I think conversations that,
contestants have learned
that you don't become disrespectful, but where you start to frustrate each other can be good.
socialites reap the reward.
Right? There should be
Yeah.
some. If there's tension in a conversation, it can be fruitful.
when it
I
comes
think that
to,
if you always agree,
I have a very
it can
poetic
also
way
be
to put
bad
this.
too.
I have a very poetic way to put this. I'm very proud of it. So, if you,
That's-
when it comes to hate
okay.
speech, hate is the problem, not the speech. If you reduce just the speech, hate will still be there. And honestly, when it comes to hate, I'd rather it be expressed in speech than in other things myself. When it comes to hate speech, when you just remove someone's ability to do speech, they'll just find other ways to express their hate. You can do it. I believe in you. Yes!
Wow. That's awesome.
That was phenomenal.
explosives are set.
So yeah, just don't be a dick. That's for everyone. Don't be a dick, and that's how you. That's how you stay high up in the church of make it. One time I said on Reddit, children shouldn't be given hormone blockers. It got removed. Yeah, like for example, that's a controversial opinion. That's something that many people wouldn't agree with. I wouldn't even agree with that, but that's still getting removed. Still bad. But I'm a transhumanist. I wouldn't agree with that on a different basis. I just consider our bodies a very different way from most people. I just consider my body to be like genuinely a tool. If replacing my body, for most people, replacing their arms, for example, would be a big deal. I just don't have a major connection to my body. I get that most people want to have that, but for me, really, if I had an
Nice.
option to chop off my arm and get that sweet, sweet open muscle robotic arm, I'd do it. I wouldn't think. There's nothing to think about.
Hey, you got to ask the question.
Make it, what does make it mean? Make it means making it happen. It means I don't know. Oh yeah, another thing. Milo, Mini Minuteman. That's the one that's like doing the debunks on conspiracy theories about archaeology and stuff, right? And
Yeah.
in his most recent video, he did like a whole hour and a half debunk of like one conspiracy theorist who clearly was just going way off, and I mean like believing giants that are real, hollow earth, stuff like this, right? And he started
Yeah.
the video by precisely stating that this is not the attack on the person, and that he respects other value. I made a whole YouTube post about that because that was honestly impressive. Someone who was going, like, you know, an actual archaeologist, because, yeah, I'm gonna call him an archaeologist because he is an archaeologist. So, an actual archaeologist being someone who believes in a lot of conspiracy theories, basically saying, you believe in them, and that is fine. I'm not here to fight against your beliefs. I'm here to fight against the evidence you have provided. And so the whole debunk wasn't really a debunk of the theories themselves. It was just a debunk of all of the evidence. So he basically, the whole hour and a half is just him checking the evidence and checking the conclusions. And I think that was phenomenal. I loved it. I love Milo so much. I would love to collaborate with him. It's like over 1 million subscribers.
Oh wow.
Don't be mean. The only
Well, you only have a little ways to go.
Yeah. The addition code mechanics is blowing up again. It's like getting 4,000 views a day.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, but it
Hey, I have-
has 300,000.
I have 630 subscribers.
Yeah. But you know, you do all the stuff. You know, you actually like help humanity. So I'm not there yet.
Not yet. Hopefully one day.
What about ways your body influences your mind? I mean, your mind is your body, I suppose, that is fair, but if I consider my mind to be more like the order, no wait, not order, the way my neurons are, the structure of my neurons, And so that's why
guys on top.
I'm not too attached to that either. So if I could like replace my neurons with silicon, I would do it. Because it would be just faster.
Mishap for the Vogues.
I would sub if if I
was
had a
fun.
link. Oh, you need the link. Oh wow, that's so convenient. Hold on, give me a second. Wow, you Teft link, Tefta. Ooh. Tefta. I'm pretty certain if I remember correctly. Yeah, there we go. Wow, you mean a link like this? Wow, how did that get there? Whoa,
The
insane.
Vogues are back in action.
I wanna give Tefta. Whenever I stream, I feel guilty. Whenever I stream with Tefta, because as I mentioned, I'm taking you away from like saving the humanity and stuff like this. So I'm the little things. I'm just trying. Can you imagine? Wait, what's the name of that
We always
robotics
need to
company?
relax.
By the way, it was
Delta Robotics.
Delta Robotics. Okay, from now on I'll remember. Oh, I would gladly accept a sponsorship. Like, as in
Yeah,
just
it's
because
crazy
they
stuff.
work with you, I'd give them a discount. That's what I would do.
Set in motion by the Vogues.
Okay, be careful. There are mines. There are mines. Hold on. There we go. There's another mine. That's the other. Okay, there we go.
Hey,
It's fine.
survive, survive.
The big splash turned the tide,
Yeah!
stealing cash out with a splash of cunning.
It's fine.
Nice.
Oh, they're okay. It's fine. There's two of us. That's better actually.
Great move there by the Kingfish. Stealing that cash out. A cash out station has been robbed.
Oh,
by
we're
the
gaming
Vogues.
hard.
Risky moves reap rewards.
Wow, we're gaming hard.
Big
We're
splash
good at
swam
this.
away with a cash
Yeah.
out. Great steal.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And the Vogues take the upper hand.
All right, there we go.
Nice, nice.
Nice indeed. It's really so wild that like casually I'm streaming with.
The Vogues
It's so that's just wild to me.
Like a bad outfit, there's
Someone
strategy.
like you.
Life
It's
is crazy.
insane. It is. It really is.
It's
first
it.
place, it's the big
Yeah.
splash.
But I think that's a good thing, right? That's the passion we talked about. That's the positivity. You know.
Yeah. One thing which I really like also is how when it comes to people, people think that classes divide. As in, if you have like a millionaire, they wouldn't be able to. They wouldn't be able to have a nice conversation with someone who's like making a minimum wage or something. But that's not really true. What you really find is that
That team wipe.
people, just awesome people are awesome. It doesn't really matter who they are. Awesome people
Yeah.
is awesome. That's a hot take right there.
I think I think also sometimes like the differences can separate people if they're not compatible, I guess. I don't know how to put it. But
I think if not handled
you know,
correctly.
that's what I like coffee shops. Like coffee shops that I go to, usually you have people that are super rich, super poor, and I've seen some really awesome conversations in coffee shops
Yeah,
where people of different classes are mixing.
actually,
And those things give me hope for humanity.
yeah, it's the third places thing in I think city planning, where like if you have third places, then people would have more neutral interactions, and neutral interactions cause them to have like a subjectively better. So you know, a millionaire who's never seen someone who's making minimum wage would have a pretty bad image of what a person making minimum wage would look like. But if they have at least neutral interactions with them, then they would treat them like actual human beings. So
Yeah.
that's why it's very good. Right there.
But there are always bad apples too.
There are,
So-
but oh well.
There's people that are money hungry.
Yeah, that's what I meant, right? When it comes to values, that's why values are so important. If your values are just getting more power in the form of political power or money or stuff like this, that's basically what, in my opinion, makes you like a person that's not nice, let's just say. So if you're getting a
Yeah.
lot of money or a lot of power because, I don't know, if you're a lawyer who's trying to make as much money as possible because you want to start your own law firm, for example, that would say that's a fine goal, right? You have an actual goal for the money.
Yeah.
But if you're a lawyer who wants to be rich just because, that's pretty bad. Because then you'll end up maximizing money, you end up just trying to make the number go high and sacrificing all the things, and that's a very inhuman thing to do. We humans aren't wired.
It's funny. It reminds me of a joke. It reminds me of a joke where a guy goes in a bar and he's just complaining. He's just like talking about his divorce. And finally he says, man, all lawyers are assholes. And the guy next to him says, hey, I take offense to that. He's like, what? Are you a lawyer? He's like, no, I'm an asshole.
Lawyer was the first easy example. I always either lawyer or politician.
With a royal play, the
Yeah.
king
Yeah.
stole a cash out.
I always use bankers.
Oh, bank is also another. Like how Morgan Stanley.
No, because I know a lot of wealthy people that don't like bankers because, yeah,
that's kind of
it
the whole
just,
thing
there's
we do,
something
right?
about it.
It's basically if you wanna. That's why I always mentioned. Oh, I don't remember if I actually uploaded that video, if I scrapped it, but basically about how if you wanna get rich, doing illegal stuff isn't actually a good way to go about this. If you wanna get rich,
Yeah, there's
become an investment
plenty of
banker.
legal ways.
I think I mentioned an investment banker in there because investment banker is like the most money maximizing thing you can do. What do you do as an investment banker? You make money. That's it. That's by definition.
Well, and
just
also
all you
like
do.
there was a really good conversation I heard. It was about European banking, but loans that don't really create commodities or services actually hurt the money supply. And in
Yes.
fact, those loans are stealing value from every other dollar.
Have you
So
heard about?
any loan that has to do with it's like seriously corrupt.
Have you heard about?
So like
modern
people that are
monetary
actually
theory, by
doing
the
a
way?
goods and service. What is that? I've not heard that.
modern monetary theory.
Showing the others how it's done.
So when it goes to money, you have like different standards. So for example, for a long time we used the gold standard, which was basically money is linked to
Yeah.
gold, right? And as you dig up more gold,
Now
it
we
gets
have
more
fractional
it's-
reserve.
Yeah. So basically, as you dig up more gold, it gets more difficult to mine it because there's less of it, and so you know, the more gold
Scarcity.
you have, the slower the amount of money increases. Right?
Oh my goodness, one life.
I'm going.
No, thank you.
Stay focused out there.
So yeah, that and then now we have a different one, which I remember. Actually, you're the first person I think to tell me about this. The fact that like value is created based on debt right now.
Debt, yeah.
Yes,
So
that's the
whenever,
current system.
because you only have to have 1/9 of what you. So every time a loan is created, 8/9 of that money came out of nowhere,
Yeah,
and
so-
it's always the bankers, right? So the banker, you pay 10% down. That's the real money that you gave the bank. The bank made up their amount. You could pay half of that house loan, and then the bank literally created 40% of money from nothing.
Cash out underway.
Yeah, and so
just
that's,
because you failed to make payments. It's really weird.
and so that's what we use right now. But there is
Yeah,
another way,
the
which
entire
is called
world.
modern monetary theory, which basically looks like this. That,
Okay.
and it basically, this is gonna be an oversimplification, a major one. But the basic idea is, government can print out as much money as they want, but they use taxes to reduce the supply of money. So basically, if there is something your country needs, right, then
Yeah.
you just create the money
That
to make that
sounds-
happen. And then if you create this money, this obviously leads to inflation. And in order to reduce inflation, you increase the taxes. And this is,
I like that system.
Yeah, that's-
Any system that private banks don't own the entire world's money supply.
precisely, and that's why
And
it's
there's
so,
no way of getting out of it. It's so absurd. And that's one of those things that, yeah.
and I really
I
like
hope in
modern
my
monetary
lifetime
theory.
something happens for the good.
Yeah, people really often like to call modern monetary theory, you know, well, people who are against it really often like communism and stuff, because, you know, they're, oh no, governments can print out money, inflation will be on the rise and stuff like this. But in reality,
I think the
it's a
government
really-
is better equipped to print money
well,
than
you have
private
at least
banks.
you have at least democracy, right? That's like at the very
Yeah,
least
at least
you have democracy.
because it's closer to so technically, yeah, the banking would just be nepotism, because literally families, those large bankers, that's crazy to think about.
I mean, I feel like there are two adjustments I would make when it comes to, like, okay, no, there aren't two adjustments I would make. There are only two adjustments that I feel like more people should know about. that
Wait,
could be
one
made.
second.
Yep.
Are we gonna do one more? Let me grab something real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, then I'll also go
Hold
be
that
right
thought.
back. Be right back, everyone. We'll start soon. Hi, the Pizza Ranger. Hi, everyone.
Okay, I'm back. I had to take my nighttime allergy meds.
Back. There we go.
I'm back too.
Oh, perfection then. So, hi, the Pizza Ranger. Hi, by the way, play the finals. Oh yeah, we are playing the finals. I want to be rich because I want like a lot of kids. I'm scared to ask you to elaborate, honestly. So there are two main adjustments I think more people should know about. First of all, modern monetary theory. Huge fan of that. Mostly because it's just smart. I think, in my opinion, it seems pretty smart.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and the second is that I really don't like the idea of representatives. I think in these times, we don't really need them. If you think about it, because and this is
Republic, you
something,
mean?
yeah, this is something I need to defend. So representatives, like for example, when you have Congress, right? What does
Okay.
Congress do? And this is a genuine question because I want to double check
Congress.
my American, if I know the American system well enough to actually talk about this. So what does Congress do?
Yes, it's a mix of the House of Representatives and the Senate, right? In the Senate, there's 2 per state, and the House of Representatives, there's like 340. I don't know the exact number, but it's per capita, so it's based off of population.
Yeah,
So half of it,
but Congress
yeah,
makes
and
laws,
so it's
basically, right?
those two together.
That's like the basic idea. They make laws. As an oversimplified.
Yes,
And
pieces
so-
of legislation.
Yeah.
Yep,
And
yep,
so
yep.
what
That's how I
think
understand it.
we should demolish is the idea that a representative makes those laws. Because when you think about it, in Congress, each person there has a combined power. Each person there, each individual person, has like a power of of hundreds of thousands of people.
The darkness
And that is insane.
but our contestants
You have individuals who have powers, and yes, there is the responsibility. Of course, it's not as insane as it sounds, but still, that's mad. And I believe in current times, when we have the internet, for goodness sake, why not just let people just decide what laws they follow by themselves? Now, obviously, there are certain like obvious problems with that. Like for example, the fact that damn it, right away got killed. Like for example, the fact that there are two main worries people have. So first of all,
Yeah.
that that populace can be trusted and they would just pass bad laws. And second of all, is that people wouldn't vote. And so you'd end up like with 10% of the population making, or 5% of the population making actual laws. But okay, so let's start the first one. So people would make bad laws. One good example of that.
So what you're talking about is like direct democracy.
Yes,
so you're
direct
just
democracy.
saying,
So you basically
instead
have
of
a
the,
website.
Instead of the Senate, yeah.
You have a
okay.
website, and each day you have like a certain laws over there, and then each day people just vote if a law should be there or if it shouldn't be. The website, your linked is like you have a personal ID, and then log in, and then you vote if a law should be passed or not. And so the first one, which is people would make bad votes, the thing that most people bring up as a counter, like, oh yeah, what if someone makes a law to not pay taxes, for example, make tax evasion completely legal? Like, everyone would like to not pay taxes, but I don't really like that argument because it just assumes that people are dumb. It just assumes that people don't understand why taxes exist. No, I think we got all of them. Did we? No, we didn't. There's one. No, we didn't. No, the answer was no.
I got it.
That could be a game changer.
So
Oh, you got wiped.
they approved them. Yeah. So yes, that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Yeah. So first of all, when it comes to bad laws, most laws passed by Congress are mundane, just straight up mundane. On average, most of them, and that's not really all that weird to think about. I mean, if you think about how many laws there are, on average, most laws are mundane, and they just deal with specifics. So in that case, I feel like direct democracy would be better. And when it comes to the big laws, like for example, if someone suddenly came up with a new law to make tax evasion legal, then that would just increase the amount of people that vote. Because it would get a lot of press, it would get a lot of media coverage, and because of that, more people would vote on this law. So I think that's better. Another thing is that people complain about is that, only a percentage or small percentage of the population would actually vote, and you'd end up with a system where like 5% actually makes laws. First of all, the other 95 is their choice not to vote. And second of all, correct me if I'm wrong, 5% sounds better than 300 people making laws. Damn it.
No.
I almost got him. They're really low.
My bad.
But yeah, this is what I think.
Self-interest trumps logic.
How about
I like
this
it.
weather we've been having? I like thinking about politics this way because it's fun when you can talk about politics without people yelling at you. It's nice. It's nice for a change. Like, for example, when I said that capitalism incentivizes work, but communism is better. Oh, capitalism incentivizes work, communism doesn't. Then someone in the comment just said, "Oh, you're wrong. I would suggest you do more research before you post." They didn't even say why I was wrong, like on what I was wrong. No, they just like, do more research next time.
It's because you are wrong. No, I don't know.
Which is really funny because in that video I specifically defined like capitalism and communism in mathematical terms. So basically I defined them as with like graphs of distribution. So mathematically I knew.
Am I gonna get it?
Oh, there we go. Sick.
Get him. Nice.
I'm trying Katina, by the way. My nickname is screwed up. I don't know why.
I'm just standing straight up.
But yeah, when it comes to representative,
Fight
I
me.
really don't like that because be careful. When it comes to representative, I really don't like the concentration of power, and there is also the president, and I guess president would make sense. But I just don't like the military in general, so I'm not a huge fan of the idea.
No,
of a
I don't
president.
like covert. I don't like the CIA, because like the amount of governments our CIA covert operations has overthrown is just insane,
It is.
and it's just been allowed to do whatever, and it's like that's not how I think. I think that's Elon Musk made a good statement that laws just kind of stick around. There should be a garbage collector for laws, and there should be like a garbage collector for governments, like there are in programs, right?
Yeah.
To refresh it every so often.
There's like a idea. I really like.
I just don't understand it enough though. To
I
make
really
it have
like
a thing.
irrational animations because they like have little videos about these things. So basically, they also have a video about how I don't remember what it's called, but it's basically the idea is country divides itself into like an old country and a new country, and new country is like smaller, and the new country is only there to have more radical laws. So, for example, you know, all the laws that the entire country wouldn't agree on, the small country can make. And because of that, it can actually test out these laws and then...
The Kingfisher in prime position to take the victory.
Tricked! Yeah! Yeah! Okay, sorry, Tefta, I dropped you. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Oh,
I'm droppable. I understand.
hold on.
Things are about
I'm gonna
No, it's okay.
save it.
UFOs are
Yep. Oh, you can respawn, actually, I forgot.
and shooting down on them.
We've got the steamrollers returning to the arena.
Those gosh down elites.
Oh no.
Got him.
Would-be thief just met a
Yoo-hoo-hoo!
kudos to the shock and awe. They just cashed out.
It was so close. No,
Things are rarely normal in the arena, but this time I can confirm
Yes! Yes!
still paranormal.
Okay.
Our alien invasion event is still active.
Okay, there we go. Remember
Nice,
when they
nice,
did
nice,
advanced interrogation techniques and included things like yeah, advanced interrogation. That's just torture, isn't it? I mean, if I do remember correctly, advanced interrogation techniques. That's just like a legal term for torture.
It's the shock and awe.
It's remember when they did? Don't they still do it? It is mad.
I don't think torture is even a. Oh, why did I do that? I don't know why, but whatever. Torture isn't even effective.
It isn't, yeah. And I think there's plenty of
Because like
stuff-
you don't
if
even know what you're. What,
I can't.
yeah,
cite
you
them
don't
from
even know
memory,
what you're
but-
getting as the truth.
Yeah,
People will just tell you whatever
what
to
you
not
want
be
to hear.
tortured.
They will tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
And there were studies about this. They know. But they still do torture as a fear method. Because why not?
Our contestants need to pick it up and
Hey, if there is no negative, if there is no responsibility, if there is no consequences,
Yeah, checks and balances. I think our system should have checks and balances. You know.
I honestly think
And
that...
if those are lax, like there's so many ways people that are greedy of power will take advantage of it. And so I
yes.
think that
Yeah, it's power hunger.
that's almost
Actually,
like where
that's
I
what I
hate,
said about power
I hate
hunger.
politics,
In,
but I try to know a little bit just so that way at least I'm doing my part as a citizen, right? Because I
Yeah.
can't be so against politics that I don't try to be helpful.
whenever you choose, whenever you want or not, you are a part of politics. So it's better
Yeah.
to know about them. That's precisely what I said about power hunger, right? So in the worst mistake humanity, no wait, AI's video, that's what I said about power hunger. Power hungry people want power, and because of that, you will see a higher amount of people in power. A higher amount
politics,
of
yeah.
of people that want power in power, which is bad and not really
They're
fixable.
doctors.
And yeah, it's bad and not really fixable. It's not a wild thing to say that people who want power will try to get power. And that's obvious, but
Yeah.
you basically want people with values to be in power. And people whose values is just getting power will pick their values to whatever they want in order to get this power. I don't know, I'm sounding crazy, but you get what I mean.
You sound crazy. Yep.
I always sound crazy. It's a quirk of mine.
I'm just messing with you.
There we go.
MK Ultra, yeah, MK Ultra is the worst.
What's MK Ultra?
MK Ultra is bad. It's not really the worst.
Wait, what's...
It's just
I know what that is.
MK Ultra is where the government literally gave people like LSD and
Oh.
did a whole bunch of experiments and made them permanently mentally ill.
Oh, yeah.
And
oh,
to
now I
American
remember.
citizens, they've done lots of stuff. Those are just the things we know about.
Oh, yeah. I know I remember what... Yeah. That's what I mean.
I think it's just any system can be corrupt, right? So it's like I guess we should try to minimize the
actually-
corruption.
That's actually the two
Right?
ideologies.
Isn't that our goal?
That actually the two ideologies. That's the main difference between communism and capitalism. Actually, that's like the when you get down, that's the key different ideologies. You basically have authoritarian capitalism, which is what China has basically. I feel like China is the closest to pure authoritarian capitalism, and authoritarian capitalism is everyone hates it. Everyone. I haven't really seen anyone who unironically likes it. When I think about it right now, the closest I can think of to authoritarian capitalism is basically totalitarianism. It's basically, I think Nazis were the closest from just what I can think of top of my head, which basically means government has all the control. So, you know, you get all of the control of communism with no of the freedom of capitalism. That's what authoritarian capitalism is. So, government owns everything. You want to open your own business? Well, you better ask government first, and you can open a new business if
So there's this-
the government owns it. If not, then they have the military. And so that's the worst system.
There's a philosopher that he's a professor of philosophy at a school, and he was giving a lecture on post AI or post scarcity. And he was saying, what if, let's just say, hypothetically, we had a perpetual 0-point energy device that gives us unlimited energy, and we have like the most advanced AI. So everyone could be in their own cultures, and he like posited, he was trying to say that maybe we all agree on these base moral things, like everyone can do whatever except for these base things, and you get unlimited energy, your own little piece of land, and just, you know. But it was funny because he was talking about it, and I was laughing because I think we're gonna actually have to start to think about what
Yeah.
does a post-scarcity
Precisely.
society look like.
And so basically there are, when it comes to, and that's why I don't, that's why I so don't like the people who just want power so much, because that's precisely what I meant in the future will be fucking great video. Like, we can share things
Yeah.
equally, there will be enough of stuff to share. I provide the graphic how,
Yeah.
you know, if production increases exponentially, the population won't increase exponentially, according to the models. The population will never reach, I think, it was 12 billion, I think. And so because of that, everyone will get richer, which means that if we share equally, everyone will have enough. There is no need to be greedy.
Yeah.
And that's precisely what I meant in the future will be a great video, but be careful, there are enemies.
Yep.
And so, and so basically there are two ideologies here, which is the capitalism and communism. So you have this system which you really don't want, which is authoritarian capitalism. So basically, government owns everything, and you don't have a say in it. How to mitigate that now? Because that's like the natural way to go, right? Powerful people get more powerful, rich get richer, political figures, the larger the military, I just died right away, I stepped into a mine. So, how do you mitigate that? Well, there are two ideas. Either A, you can, if the government is getting corrupt, you can remove the government. That's the capitalistic idea. So you want less government power. Or the other one, if the government is getting corrupt, you want things to keep the government in check. That's the communistic idea basically. And that's why, that's why, for example, I am an anti-centrist, which means that I believe both would work. I just don't think a compromise would work. I think if you do a compromise, you're gonna end up with neoliberal capitalism in which rich get richer and also get more political power, and no one is happy. That's what I believe. Yeah, died right away. Oh, this nerf on the defibrillator is really strong. What's happening? We're just playing finals, talking about politics, science, future, past, present. Present continuous.
The
Present
socialites
perfect.
got the cash box.
Why not just make a system of small checks and balances at the individual level? That's the, I'm pretty certain that's the capitalistic. That's the more right-leaning. I should say right and left-leaning, because that's more what they are. But that's the right-leaning solution. So you basically want to reduce the size as much as possible to reduce the power accumulation. Which I think works. I really do think works. I really do think anarcho-capitalism would have a really solid chance. But there is another way, which is basically you want to design a system. You want to try to design a system which basically gets as difficult as possible to cheat it. No, it's so sad. They just killed the guy and still.
I think we'll use AI.
I
figure
also
out.
think that. That's what I mentioned. When it comes to capitalism, people really like it because it rewards them based on their work really accurately. The better you are, the more you'll get paid. But it's represented accurately. An AI made for this would be even more accurate. And that's actually provable because if an AI...
And we could probably make it better over time too.
Yeah, and that's actually provable
more
that
data.
At the very least it wouldn't be worse. Because if an AI, if we actually made an AI for this, then even if there is no better method than capitalism, this AI would just use capitalism. So yeah, that's why I think AI would be. I also think communism would be pretty cool, so I think we answered well. Precisely, yeah. There's basically centrism isn't great, then you have like a huge dip where you get into the ideologies which are really dangerous, like neoliberal capitalism, which is what we have right now, or the pseudo-communism, I don't know what to call it. And then you get into the safe zone yet again. So yeah.
I always thought that communism works really good in small groups.
Yes, that's
like
precisely
super well.
But that's precisely why, right?
And
Because the smaller the group, the easier it is to keep power in check. Communism without the military would be an incredibly easy system to check, but at the same time, that's why, if I do remember correctly, what's really funny to me is that when it comes to the origins of communism, right? I don't know if you know what the origins are.
I don't.
The origins were basically that, I think it was Marx, said that basically one day, the Industrial Revolution is happening, Marx looking around and he's like, you know what, one day machines will do everything for us. That's basically what Marx said. And his conclusion was basically, if machines do everything for us, then it's kind of pointless to have a capitalistic society, since if the machines do everything for us, we don't have to work. And capitalistic community without work is will basically mean that the richest will accumulate more wealth and the ones that aren't the richest will get nothing because there's no work for them to do. No way for them to get rich. And so what Marx basically said is that basically one day when we'll have enough automation, right, then we should share everything evenly. That's like an oversimplification. And what I find funny is that everyone took that and was basically like, oh, well, let's disregard the first sentence, because that's not important. Let's just only focus on the share evenly part. Like, I, for example, think that right now we don't have the automation required to share evenly. I don't think right now it's possible, and people tried it in Soviet Russia. Like, no, you're missing the point.
I mean, maybe you could probably run some numbers on it, but like the transition from one to the other might require more resources, right? Because you're going from, even if you had enough resources, it might take more initially. I don't know.
I mean, the thing is, that's like the ideal society you want to create. So basically, a society in which machines do everything for us and we all live happy lives. Oh, I suck so much.
Like, cause
don't forget fascism. What do you mean don't forget fascism? Fascism is just totalitarian. So basically government has all the control and you have nothing. So it's worst bits of communism were combined with worst bits of capitalism. Everyone's favorite. This is really fun. Also another thing which it's just you know that's just going back to the whole people can't talk about politics correctly, is how nowadays people say that Nazis were left-leaning, and that's because in the name they are National Socialists and Socialists left-leaning. And well, the thing is, that's actually so easy to check. And they're not. And the reason why it upsets me so much, because it really shows how like awful we are these days when it comes to talking about politics. Where it's not really an argument for the sake of finding the correct, you know, finding the answer. Only it's an argument only to make the other side look bad.
One of the ultra rares
No, I really don't like it.
taking out several opponents all by
How did you revive me in the middle of that? That's crazy.
I am just so cool and awesome.
Ah,
Ah! He has a hammer! Never mind! No! I'm still alive! How am I alive? No, I'm not! Yes, I am! Suck on these!
Vanish bombs out.
Get back here. Oh, you suck! Oh, damn it!
nice steal.
Oh,
nice.
oh, that was a lot. I think a binary classification of anything as complex as politics. How would you give it info in unbiased manner? Well, I mean, you can give it info in unbiased manner. Well, I mean, it depends on how you define unbiased, I suppose. But you can give info
Yeah,
in unbiased manner if you just don't treat if you're not attached to your political ideology. So if you're attached to your political ideology in a sense that you care more about this ideology existing than it actually being the best.
The
So-
answer is it's impossible.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you know, in the same way,
It
you could say
literally
that
is a-
everything
it's like-
is unbiased. Everything is biased, and that is fair. But
It probably is.
and yeah, that is fair. Like if everything is relative, then everything should also be biased. But then the word bias kind of loses meaning and it stops being useful.
Well, bias though, you know, because we don't. If we could find objective truth, like let's say, alien ship came with the history of the universe, like all the equations on it,
Yeah, but still, then how can you trust
then
them?
maybe.
Now a tournament match.
Yeah, how could you trust them? Like, in what world and like what hypothetical situation would there where you could be unbiased? It's almost one of those things where you could be completely biased would be helpful because at least you know what your bias
if
is.
you were perfectly biased, then that is nice because then at least you have a point of
Yeah.
reference. At least you can say that you're
Yeah.
relatively unbiased. Oh, that's something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, figure out the average of everyone's beliefs.
so that's I feel like the reason why. I mean, I feel like I don't have that much of a meaningful bias because I'm an anti-centrist. So the biggest political issue when it comes to bias is that you have the people on the left who hate people on the right, and people on the right who hate people on the left. And this hatred really often causes them to. Well, it's hatred. It's not nice. I don't feel like I need to explain the downsides of hatred. And the reason why
Yeah.
I think is because I'm an anti-centrist. I don't care left or right. Just get me far away from the center as possible. So I guess
I'm
my
gonna
bias is against the
post an
center.
image. I'm posting an image in the
General
Charity
Checkups.
Checkups channel. Yeah, it's the Cognitive Bias Codex.
Oh wow. Oh wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, it talks about. Yeah.
That's a lot. Oh, there
There's a lot of ways to be biased.
Yeah, there is. Like all the fallacies, all of the illusions, everything. I actually started to work on that video about that precise thing, but then I stopped because I realized that there are cooler videos to make. Damn, I should be higher.
This will have to be my last match.
That is fair. We have to make it count. I have an
Yes.
idea. Why not have extremists from both sides dump as much propaganda into it so they can eventually, and eventually it will find a balance. That's basically like having a toaster that burns your toast and using liquid nitrogen to cool it down so it wouldn't burn your toast. That's basically the kind of solution. If you have to,
Overkill.
if you have to fight an extreme by introducing an opposite extreme, that's not a safe way. Hi there, Lamppost, by the way. Hi, welcome. Lamppost, you've joined another last game of the stream, actually.
Last minute.
Yeah. Alright. I have no idea how long we've been streaming for. I'm just having so much fun.
The dense evening fog will
Yeah.
cause our contestants
3 hours. You've
3
been streaming
hours.
for 3 hours.
That's long.
elements and their opponents.
The arena is in perfect condition to start the match. I doubt it'll stay that way for long.
There we go. Nothing like good talking about science and gaming stream.
They're unlocking Vault 2.
Actually, it's more than
Yeah,
science.
we have
It's a lot
fun
of stuff.
conversations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Casual, you know, these casual conversations you get when you're playing finals, like about
Yeah.
the science religion mix, stuff like these. Was that our teammate? I just wasted the bounce grenade.
Our first elimination is
The average of two extremes is not neutral. That, in the house, there was like a perfect example of that,
Oh.
where like there was like, I think
Oh, weird.
testosterone. What happened?
Cash out B.
My game's audio is all gone, and plus I can't use any of my grenades or anything.
That is old stuff.
That's
not
weird.
good with technology.
No, it's like it's glitching.
Set.
It literally won't let me choose them.
Um,
Weird. And the sound's gone. I can still play. No worries. I'm just.
without any grenades. But in the house,
yeah, no, I'm good.
in House MD was a great example of that, where they like try to help a guy, I think with testosterone over too much testosterone, I think, and where Chase was like, "Oh yeah, too much masculinity makes someone irrational," and then someone else said, "Oh, so you mean that femininity is rational, and because of that, women are rational," and that's where they end the conversation. I was like, "No, there's two extremes. Just because one side is
One-
rational doesn't mean the other is rational. By that's a fallacy. That's not how it works. Like
Yeah.
if you're getting burned to death and you don't like it, that doesn't mean you're gonna like getting freeze to death. That's really not how it works.
Yeah.
So extremes don't really have to cancel out all the time.
The Jet
It's really
Setters
bad now
are
because
in the last lane.
I would love to help you, but I just don't know how.
The high notes have been rattled.
Ah,
Team wiped.
I figured it out.
What happened?
It's because the game wasn't front and center. The mouse clicked on another screen.
This
Oh.
goes both ways, of course.
So I was still able to move and everything, but
Oh, I
it
see.
wouldn't let me.
I mean, just too easy. No one's coming. We're actually just gonna win this. I have to say that to make the game harder,
Crazy.
because now if I say that we're actually gonna win this, then
Respawned.
That's when the enemy comes.
yeah,
and-
that's why like 3 different teams will come. What game is that? That's finals. Yeah. I'm actually looking for some reactions to do with sulfur, by the way. I have so much sulfur. So much sulfur. It's okay, so I have I think a kilogram or half a kilogram of sulfur, and there's another half a kilogram coming because I just bought it. It was cheap. And now I don't know what to do with it. I don't have a single clue what to do with sulfur. I'm open to
Oh, there,
any
now
ideas.
there's a guy.
That's very late of them.
The big splash are playing for keeps.
I know.
The match's first cash
Don't worry, I'm going to save
And they
you.
killed me.
making it look easy. Cash out for the ultra rares.
Purple
The
people.
ultra rares are in prime position to take the victory.
I'm purplist.
Oh, you. We may have our differences. There's no need to headshot like that.
The Jet Setters are piercing Vault 4.
I thought it was funny once because, like, I had a conversation like this with someone while I was streaming, and then my fiance could be seen in the background, and someone was like, "Oh, is that your guy friend?" I'm like, "No, that's my female partner." But it's funny, just because of the absurdity, they were like super embarrassed.
Showing the
But,
way the ultra rares are
The reason I'm saying this is she's black, right?
Yeah.
And so it's also interesting because, like, I don't know. I like having the race conversations, but being so mixed, I don't see much of that stuff.
I like how what I really like is I'm Slavic, so you know, I am white, but when it comes to being white, it's about, you know, I haven't. Slavic people haven't really done any of the things that, like Slavic people is like
Not like-
is the.
I don't hear any
the
hate
least-
on them.
Yeah, because we know when British people were colonizing and all, Slavic people were just too busy fighting each other.
Weaving through opponents.
So
Yeah.
you know how you can have beef about this. Like the least, the least culturally aligned, I would say. Oh, I'm hoping they won't snipe me. All right, there we go.
The high notes swooped up a cash.
I really like reviving people with this.
A lot of
Progress thanks to the
Although there was something
You
I
know,
wanted to say, I don't remember what. Oh yeah, which I find really funny is that
culture, but-
people. What I find really funny, it may seem it's more related to what you said earlier, but people don't know if I'm gay or not, and I think it's really comical.
No, we know you are.
I mean, if you think so.
Jet setters will need to try
I've actually you have no idea how much of my mental of like my mental processing power just goes to making sure that I word everything in the most ambiguous way possible.
It's
And I want to keep it up. It's funny. I think it's really funny.
well, I think it's also interesting, like, yeah, like people's identity. Like it's such a weird question to say, like, you know, if someone said who's make it, it's like, well, what? How am I supposed to respond? Like,
That's a good question.
if you ask like who someone is, like really, like, I don't know. They do this for a living. They spend a lot of time doing this.
You can-
It's usually how you
You
describe
basically have to
them.
describe the
you know?
actions of a person, not the person, because
Yeah. And so like that's always like a loaded question. Like, who are they? It's an existential question, man.
yeah,
I don't know.
who is?
But,
I don't even know who'd make it.
It,
How,
Yeah,
how,
like,
how would
that's-
I
I
answer
like-
this
I don't- yeah.
question?
yeah. But what's interesting is identity is very interesting.
Yeah, like people interact with
Oh.
your like you people don't really interact with you as a physical, only you as a there we go, got him.
Nice.
Yo, it's fine, I got you. You have nothing to worry about. I got you. Why it's so fine, everything's so fine, everything's so fine.
But
everything's
like, you could say everyone is a sleeper, except for maybe like there's like one person that doesn't sleep. But like a third of our lives we sleep. So if you talk about action, you should say, "Oh, he's a good sleeper." You know what
no,
I mean?
I'm good.
They snore when they
That's
sleep.
actually a
But
phenomenal
if,
way
if
to
you're talking about
describe someone. Oh yeah,
right,
there's-
because technically it's
oh,
not
there's
wrong.
such a breather, honestly. Oh, they do that so often. Oh, I just whenever I
Yeah.
think of Tefta, the first thing I think is like they breathe so often.
It's event time.
Yeah.
Contestants,
but right, like that's an action that we do. So it's almost sometimes identity takes on different forms. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Hold on, let me try. Make gunpowder. Oh, that's about. I don't think. Can you make gunpowder of sulfur? I have no idea. I know that you can make like the things that gunpowder makes of sulfur, but that's useless. You know,
I don't
I am
know.
wild. That's a mean of them. Ah, that's people. I thought I was just getting struck by an orbital cannon, but that's just people. Whoa, I am so great, awesome, handsome, and fudge! I missed the grenade. Never mind. Imaginary numbers? No, it doesn't. It does not. And one day I'll tell you all what make it means. It is an acronym. It was an acronym. It isn't anymore, I suppose. It's like so. I love when I can just go into like into three people and then just grapple out. You know, they grab the little statue and then grapple out. It always makes me feel like I'm Spider-Man, honestly. Like, I can do this, and then grapple out, and there we go, and I just stole the cash box. Oh, but there are people chasing me. I always feel like Batman, Spider-Man, whatever. But I just as a superhero. Yo, people! Lot of people, lot of people. Yo.
Yeah, my game crashed.
Yo! Okay, well, then it's fine.
Wow. There were so many people and my game crashed.
Well, that's actually perfectly timed crash. There, the game just finished. We won first place.
Yeah, that's awesome. Did we?
Yeah, we won.
Oh man, that's awesome.
31,000.
Well, thank you for joining or having me join. That was fun.
Thank you for joining, actually. The other way. But thank you for joining so much. I'm so glad the finals won with like 1%. 47 votes and won with 1%. 51% people voted for the finals. That's about as undemocratic as you
crazy.
can get. Like something winning but still having as many people unhappy as possible. Well, I won't keep you here anymore. I'll just
Yeah.
there. Thank you so much
Well,
for joining.
I will see you soon.
All right. Bye. Okay, so everyone, how did you like the stream? Me chatting with Tefta and playing finals in the background. I think it was swell. Yeah, so this has gone for 3 hours. Wow, that's true. Okay, so for now, I suppose Make it sounds from Mike. It was nice, very good stream. I am really glad you all liked it. I'll turn off stream now. Yeah, I have to go. I have to go. I have work to do. It's what now? It's like, oh, it's around 5 a.m. That's festive. Okay, so for now, that'll be it. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye.